Alright, we should be streaming. This is Nuke Marine presenting the suggested guide for Japanese literacy self-study stream. And today it's a beautiful day. I'm in Japan. It's around 10 a.m. What I tried to do last night was I scheduled this for 10 a.m. and I think, as I said on the previous streams, I'm going to try to schedule these for 10 a.m. each day. That'll give me time in the morning to do exercise, do a self-study stream, do some college work after the stream's over in about 3 hours or so and whatnot, and try to keep that as my workflow. And then of course on the days in which I have to go to college classes in the evenings, and I'll do that as well. So we'll try to keep that up and see how that plays out. Let's see, also what I was working on yesterday was, this is the full spreadsheet of the Dictionary of Japanese Grammar. Now what I did is on Anki there was a course, there was a pack, a deck called Dictionary of Japanese Grammar. It had all 6,000 or so entries. It had really good indexes set up, and it was actually just a damn good, really concise deck. It looked like someone spent a lot of effort getting all the information typed into Anki. It looked like it had to be done manually. I don't know of any way you could have automated this. So it's a lot of good hard work on there. The basics, what I've been using already for the well, now they're going to be courses at the end of the basics, but it's supposed to be the Dictionary Basic Japanese Grammar course that I've got split into 4 parts, which is about 1,200 sentences here. And what I've been messing with is the intermediates, which is right here. Intermediate was, with basic it was easy. All I had, well, it wasn't easy, but what I did is I went and ordered those, created what was called like a Taikym index right here, Taikym, and these were the entries in Taikym were the equivalent of the entries for a Dictionary Basic Japanese Grammar. There was a lot of it, a few that didn't have any, so I just added those at the end. No problem. Took some time, but became a very useful course. You know, in other words, very functional to learn in this order instead of trying to learn in the Romaji alphabetical order that the dictionary is laid out in. Intermediate was a little bit more difficult because there's 1,800 example sentences here, all of about 200 different entries, and maybe if you kind of look here, what I did is I took all those 1,800 sentences, got rid of all the duplicate grammar entries, so I'm just left with just these entries right here that were unique, so it came out to about 200. I'd already did the index for Taikym, and then I went and did a Kanji Kanzen Master, and then New or Shin Kanzen Master for books for level 2, and then also level 1, and try to do a matchup of those indexes, and that came up to about half of them, or roughly 900 entries. And then I went and found what we have based on what's called related grammar, so I created a related index, and that got me up to about 140 entries, so it left the remaining 60. So I went and just sort of like with the usage kind of sorted it alphabetically there, so kind of put at least similar usages that have a keyword here together, put those by each other, and yeah, that was about it. Left. It's gonna be kind of annoying, I don't know. That's the order which is going to be in, so the last half is going to be a weird thing where it's just entries from the dictionary, but I didn't want it to be alphabetical order because that was like, there was no logic to that as far as alphabetical order of these Romaji, you know, because again, this is not legible, this is not English here, so you don't want to sort by that way, and they're not related to each other. So hopefully, alright, so I got the learning order index here. So what I might do is I'll post this up to the Learn Japanese subreddit, say, hey, you know, how does this order look to people? How would you rearrange it, make it into a more usable order, if possible? Because it should be all these are all the entries from the Dictionary of Japanese Intermediate Japanese Grammar. So these 200 entries relate to 1,800 sentences. So it means on average every entry is 9 example sentences, which is damn good. So if you're going to be seeing this, you're going to get a lot of bang for your buck. It's going to take some time to get through it, and you know, if you've had the experience, like for right now, the most difficult course in the basic series is going to be that Dictionary Basic Japanese Grammar course, followed up by if you're also doing the Japanese drama immersions. Okay, so anyway, that's what these are all for. So that's 1,200 sentences all here. Then these right here has been about 400 or 500 sentences, but you know, it's going to start being where you'll ignore quite a lot of them as they start becoming really easy for you. But yeah, this is going to be kind of difficult when you get to it, and Same is going to happen when I get to the intermediate phrases, where it's going to be 1,800 sentences. I'm going to split that into 8 parts. So so essentially each course is going to be 225 sentences each. Example sentences, roughly. In addition to, there'll be vocabulary. So the core 2K, 6K will be the intermediate. So it'll be 4,000 vocabulary words, again split into 8 parts of 500 words each. You know, vocabulary and then sentences, which is fine. That's exactly the same as what you're seeing here. I don't think that'll be difficult. It'll just take time. But yeah, this part's going to be the dictionary one's going to be the difficult part, but I think it's going to be, you're going to get a lot of it. So when all is said and done, you're going to have the time you spend on your basic and the time you spend on the intermediate half, and part 1, the intermediate part 2, those should all be roughly equal in time allotments. But when all is said and done, so let's say you spent a couple hundred hours on here, or 400 hours, and you'll spend 200 to 400 hours on the intermediate part 1, and then 200 to 400 hours to intermediate part 2. So roughly you have about 1,000 study hours added up. When all is said and done, you'll be at the equivalent of a, well into being a JLPT N2 level, which is, you're definitely functional. You could be hired by companies, especially if you're not being hired as a Japanese linguist. You'll be hired to do your job in Japan. So let's say, again, if you're a programmer, military, designer, whatever, some type of job that they want to hire you for, and you've got that language ability to where the language is not going to be holding you back as much as, if you're, again, just spoke zero Japanese. And hopefully, again, if you're doing this on top of reading, again, that's where you have to watch Japanese. You got to read Japanese. You got to listen to it all the time. Listen to it all the time. It should be playing like almost nonstop. In somehow, somewhere in your existence, there's Japanese. Hopefully, Japanese you comprehend is being played near 24/7. That's just training your ear there, and there's no other way to do it. Like, you want to get used to typing Japanese, you got to type it. You get used to listening to Japanese, you got to listen to it. You got to get used to speaking Japanese, you got to speak it. And preferably when you're speaking, listening, or typing, you're typing stuff you comprehend or understand. That way your brain's getting used to what it's doing. It's not seeing it as noise. It's intelligence. It's something the brain can now sort of process and make the neurological connections or whatnot that are needed for getting this thing in its head to where it can recall the information as needed when it finds it needs that information. Okay. So anyway, yeah, the reason why I mess with these spreadsheets is that I'm always trying to prepare for when I actually get down and create the next set of courses, which is going to be the intermediate courses. I want to make sure when I do it, it's done correctly, because it's really difficult when you make a mistake, to go and fix that mistake if it's done in bulk. Sometimes if you make a really big mistake, like I did when I started this beginner course, was I had to delete courses. I made a course and I just ended up having to delete the entire thing because the way the memorized database worked, it was keeping too much of the old information. It just screwed it all up. Alright, with that said and done, let's see what we got here. How are we doing on time? I guess it would help if I put in my earphones right here. Had the speakers turned on. And let's just make sure that I'm not just talking into a... Okay, we got there, and earphones. Yep, okay, so I can hear myself. We got 2 people watching live. Alright, and yeah, if you're watching live or if you watch this every stream, if you're enjoying the video, don't forget to, if you enjoyed it, consider liking the video. No big deal there. Again, with the whole subscribing if you haven't, and sharing it on multimedia, on social media, with people who have found an interest in learning Japanese. Especially those that say, hey, I want to learn Japanese, where do I start? Okay, give them a link to the Suggested Guide to Japanese Literacy, preferably the link to this page here on kanji.kohi.com. And link to, this thing here, the Suggested Guide for Japanese Literacy Memorized course. Yeah, link to that. What I also did is since it's Monday, my time, it's Monday, it's 10 a.m. in the morning, beautiful weather, very windy though. I was going to have the windows open, but the wind is just way too strong right now. It might be blowing some stuff in the room around and annoying me, and be too loud and just be annoying you for the audio. Anyway, made a weekly announcement here, made a weekly announcement on this thread for Memrise forums. Let's see, new, or that, latest. Yeah, so put a link there, did that. Did my usual posting here on the subreddit and whatnot. Really? -1. Yeah, that happens. Haven't had a downvote on that for a long time, because, I don't know. Might have picked up a couple of negative fans, because there was a subreddit called Japan Circle Jerk, and I guess what happened is somebody made a comment and then linked to that, or somebody made a post on Learn Japanese, somebody on the Japan Circle Jerk made a sarcastic copy, a link to that post with a sarcastic title, and that got people to go into the Learn Japanese subreddit and just downvote people or upvote people who are insulting the guy or other people, whatnot. And I kind of like said, hey, don't do that, or try to avoid doing that, because again, like, hey, how you want to reply in Japan Circle Jerk, which can be funny. Okay, I'm not against that. I'm not against the concept, but you don't want to be going into other people's subs and and shitting on other people's on the community there. All right, the purpose of the Learn Japanese show should be more positive. Like, okay, people have questions, don't be sarcastic. Don't try to break them down. Try to say they're stupid or whatnot. Just be a bit more social or civic about it. Something with the title Japan Circle Jerk. Yeah, okay, you don't have to be a civic in that regard. That's fine, like I said. And I don't even know why they were downvoting it, because I'm going to be deleting it. So there you go. I don't know. Let's see, and then some questions there. Children's books, that's good. How to say have a nice weekend. Okay, that's all good. Alright, so it looks like we are good to go. We got 3 people watching. So if you are watching live, try to say hi in the chat. If for nothing else, I'll just say hi back. If you do have questions, either live, obviously make it in the chat, but if you have questions later, you're watching this for whatever reason after the fact, put a question in the comment or anything. I'll try to get back to it if I can, if I remember to do that. And with that, I think I can start. Okay, I've got everything else. It looks like I got everything else prepared. Okay, let me get my tablet here, because that's going to have to come into play. Here's my pen, and let's see what we got. Okay. So I'll do those 3 vocabulary words. Let's see, 60 there, 1 there, that's no problem, and 38. So I'm going to do these 60. I'll do those 60s last. I'll do these 38. Alright, so I'll review everything before I begin the actual lessons. Hopefully I'll be able to get 2 lessons done today and continue on. Because, like I said, I'm starting on level lesson 63 for the remembering the kanji. And there's 70, and that's out of 74 lessons so far. And with that, so I'll leave another 11 left, so it should be either this week or early next week, which I'll be done. Alright, so let's begin.
Shukudai, 手伝ってくれない?
Shukudai, 手伝ってくれない? 手伝ってくれない? Shukudai, 手伝う. 減る. 減る
減る
減る変える変える
変える
変える Okay, good. And like I said, if I wanted to, I could do, like, here's 1 and 38. If I went to home, this is if you're a little memorized here, but I think I told you yesterday, since it's early, I'll show. Go to here and go to by category, sort it by category Japanese. And these will be all your, should be a way to where you can review, yeah, right here, see this button, review 39, so it's 38 of the Zettai Kureshi, and then that 1 question from Dictionary of Basic Japanese Grammar. So you can review all of them together. I'm not going to do this, but it's just a way to where you're not having to, especially if you've got like a, single individual ones in a bunch of different courses, and you don't want to, so you just want to go and get them all done together without, closing out and going out to a new group and whatnot. So yeah, that is it. That is a one possibility if you want to do that. Alrighty, so that is good. Let's go for right here. Kazue, Kazue, Kazue.
Kazue.
Kazue, Kazue, Kazue. Okay, I think that's everything, right? Okay. Okay. 何それ? Why is that one showing up?
マネキンみたいな。
お客様の理想の彼氏です。
お客様の理想の彼氏。お客様の理想の彼氏です。理想の彼氏 Okay. Okay. All right, so I'm going to do these 38, then I'm going to finish it off with the vocabulary.
いない。
いない。いない。いない。
悩み事。
悩み事。あんたのせいでしょ？
応じる。
応じる。応じる。
いいですか。
待ってました。
お試し期間のほ。
待ってました。
誠に。
誠に。誠に。誠に。That's what she says at the door.
汗。
汗。チッチッ。それ何？汗。チッチッ。
早いとこ持って帰ってください。
早いとこ。
この度はゼロワンを
持って帰ってください。早いとこ。早いとこ。早いとこ。早いとこ持って帰ってください。
ローン。
ローン。70年ローン。
筋トレする姿がセクシーな彼氏が理想って。
筋トレする。筋トレする。筋トレする姿がセクシー。セクシーな彼氏が理想って。筋トレする姿がセクシーな彼氏が理想って。Okay, got Jay. Konnichiwa saying good day. Hey, hi Jay. Sexy. Okay. Got yeah, 3 more of these.
破損。
破損？
何ですか？
お試し期間中に破損修理した場合には買い取りになると。ほらここに。
Okay. お試し期間中に破損修理した場合には買い取りになると。ほらここに。Let's hear that again.
何ですか？
お試し期間中に破損修理した場合には買い取りになると。ほらここに。
買い取りになると。お試し期間中に破損修理した場合には買い取りになると。ほらここに。お試し期間中に破損修理した。こりゃそう。
この度はゼロワンをお買い上げいただき誠にありがとうございます。
この度は01を買い上げいただき誠にありがとうございました。OK。この度は01を買い上げいただき誠にありがとうございます。
この度はゼロワンをお買い上げいただき誠にありがとうございます。
誠にありがとうございます。この度は01をお 買い上げいただき誠にありがとうございます。誠にありがとうございます。誠に。
俺セクシー？
俺セクシー？That's a good length to learn. 俺セクシー？
そりゃ
そりゃさ、そりゃ。That's it. That is. そりゃ。
食品
食品。一週間食品。
公安
公安。副社長公安。
パッド
パッと。パッと。
放送に関しては7日以内に修理費を負担すれば返品に応じます。なんだ、はい。
OK。7つ以内に修理費を負担すれば返品に応じます。So 返品に応じる。So there are some of these words like 負担、返品、応じる、いない。OK。いつか以内に修理費を負担すれば返品に応じます。
放送に関しては7日以内に修理費を負担すれば返品に応じます。なんだ、はい。
7日以内に修理費7日以内に修理費を負担すれば返品に応じます。
放送に関しては7日以内に修理費を負担すれば返品に応じます。なんだ、はい。
負担すれば返品に応じます。なんだ早く言ったよ。Why didn't you say so sooner? Okay, so Flo said, what's the main goal of pick the sentence it said exercise? Listening. It's mainly about, this is literally just making sure about you comprehend this entire drama. That's all. The idea is that when you're listening to the drama in its entirety, you understand to almost a high degree of, you comprehend the entire thing. That way you can now listen to it a lot of times. Now you're training your ear with audio, you understand to about 90 to 100% comprehension. So that's why. So it's just to make sure that each of these sentences you're now reviewing. Basically, this is not training. You're not testing yourself. You're reviewing yourself on each of these audio sentences. And also, since it's here, the reason why I'm repeating it is also trains your speaking ability. You know, you're trying to mimic what these characters and actors are saying. At the speed and at the pace at which they're saying. So you're trying to replicate natural Japanese. Okay, anyway, he, shuri he. So it's the he of shuri he.
もちろんご購入する気になられたらいつでも。
絶対。
もちろんご購入する気になられたらいつでも絶対になれない。
もちろんご購入する気になられたらいつでも。
絶対。
もちろんご購入する気になられたらいつでも。
絶対。
になられたらいつでも。もちろんご購入する気になられたらいつでも。新規紙になります。
払います。
シラス
だから返品させてください。
では一瞬。
払います。だから返品させてください。払います。だから返品させてください。させる。so there you go. させる。返品させる。させてください。だから返品させてください。
代金
1億円。代金1億円。
どうされます？
返品します。
修理費は100万円です。
返品します。修理費は100万円です。返品します。修理費は100万円です。That's $10,000 basically.
最悪からかう
からかうのはやめてください。もうからかうのは やめてください。
見積書。
見積書。見積書。So this is 積もる、積もる、積もり。見積書。見積書。見積書。見積書。見積書。
過ぎてるじゃないですか。
そうですよね。ではここをご覧ください。
そりゃそうですよね。じゃあ、ここをご覧ください。そりゃそうですよね。じゃあ、ここをご覧ください。ご覧ください。ご覧ください。では、ここをご覧ください。そりゃそうですよね。そりゃそうですよね。
どうしたの？
どうしたの？
何か悩み事？
何か悩み事？That's if you see someone looking worried or something. So, どうしたの？ What's wrong? Or 何か悩み事？どうしたの？何か something 悩み事 worried どうしたの？何か悩み事 So again, another good line to learn.
何してんの？
何してんの？
リーコが設定したんでしょ。筋トレするす
リーコが設定したんでしょ？何したの？リーコが設定したんでしょ？筋トレする姿。
お試し期間は本日で終了となります。
セクシーな。お試し期間は本日。OK、お試し期間は本日。そう、今日で終了。So we want the right here. 本日。お試し期間は本日で終了となります。Okay, you've got Ethan saying hi there. Hi, Ethan. お試し期間中。お試し期間は本日で終了となります。Just doing, Ethan, if you're just catching up, if you're just showing them.
代金は1億円です。
代金は1億円です。1億円 Okay. 代金は1億円です。I just know that, like, I just always hear when I hear Yakima, I always think $10,000 because that's, I just know. And I hear 1億円, I just think of $1 million. I'm not even thinking about the yen rate. I mean, just for right now, though, just because of that. I hear 1億円, I think $1 million. But it's a very bad way to think because Ichioku is 100 million. So it's 100 million yen. Same with the Yakuman. It's bad to think about $10,000 because it's actually like 1 million yen or $10,000. So it's like 100 million pennies. Or I'm sorry. So 100 million pennies would be $1 million, or 100 million or a million pennies is $10,000. So if you want to think of yen, just think pennies. When you're doing this, it's a bad, because again, that kind of hurt me when I was here thinking Oko, and so I'm hearing Oko, I'm thinking million because I've always associated with the $1 million. So maybe if you want to avoid that, just think pennies. Just keep this in pennies. For you see yen, you want to translate, think pennies. Let's see. Ethan just said, just started, don't really understand this. Yeah, this is a self-study. This is my self-study. So Saki, that's Saki.
筋トレ。
これうちのじゃねえよ。
それうちのじゃねえよ。うちのじゃねえよ。It's gonna be like じゃない。うちのじゃないの。うちのじゃない。うちのじゃねえよ。それうちのじゃねえよ。
これ全然ダメだ。
これ全然ダメだ。まずいよな。これ全然ダメだ。まずいよな。
期間中。
お試し期間中。本日は無料。1000. Yeah, that's 1,000 yen. 1000, so it's like, or $10, or 1,000 pennies. There you go. 1,000 pennies. Let's see. Okay, so we're done there. I'm going to go into writing kanji for a few bits, then we're going to go into the kanji lesson itself. Okay, you worked through Genki and Wanikani. Yeah, those are two things. The way I always recommend, like, kanji is not a bad thing to learn ahead of time, even if you learn it like in, so like I said, got to be reviewing 74, 75 kanji. Okay, here we go. I'll probably be missing a few of these, so that's actually a good thing. Okay, let's bring this up mutually. All right, come here. Get my pad right. All right. Hello. Why aren't you working? That ain't good. Do I? Ah, no, 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 no. Don't tell me. Stop, 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 stop. Where is it at? Is my battery dead? Did I die? Is it dead? Let me see. This isn't good. Okay. Okay. There we go. Okay. Control delete. Woo. Okay. Whew. I mean, it wouldn't be too bad. I mean, it's just mutually. All right, mutually. Tagai. Arrival. Okay, so that's let's see. The climax is the arrival. Climax of the movie, the arrival of the. See, Tochaku, right there. The woman doth possess torment. So it's like at the climax of the movie. Okay, Indiana Jones. That's right. So at the climax of the movie was Indiana Jones saying the woman doth protest torment when he goes and kisses her. Doth. And that's just a version, a little more really archaic form of to do. Floating. Okay, so think of floating, think of water. In this case, we're going to do baby ducks. So there's the bird, there's a bird claws, and there's the kids, baby ducks. Floating, ukabu. Okay. Pick. Okay, we think of pick, we're going to say there, but we want to say pick the fruit. So we want to do that, pick fruit out of a tree. Alright, and avoid the bird claw when they're trying to pick todu. Plank. Okay, so it's they want to make the trees into planks, but you got the hippies protesting using that as a plank. That's the kan, ita, and then kanban. There. Climax. All right, you've already heard me saying that. Okay. That's itaru. There. It's walls and dirt. Okay, so that's the leader. Alright, so you got the turtle. You want it to become the leader of the. So you got the glue gun. So that's the turtle put glue on his back, so when the bird grabbed him, they couldn't let go, so he became the leader of the birds. That's the by the way, this is Show of Shogun. We got Plo saying, I did the first Heisei kanji from your spreadsheet past 2 weeks. What is the number to stop at where you're starting to get diminishing returns? I normally set up for the learn up to 555 from the 2001 at Kanji Odyssey, so that's the first 555. Learn that up to, yeah, and then after that, then start going into basic grammar and basic vocabulary. You know, basically the first half of Tai Kim. So, and then the first half of the Core 2000 series. You know, and then after that, go and learn like another 555 kanji. You don't have to. I mean, that 555 takes you a long way. And these 1,000 kanji that you're learning here are going to take you even, a long way. But it's up to you. But again, that's what I recommend. Gentle says the gentle woman. You know, scratch your back with bird claws. That's very ugly. Gentle. Okay. Dato. Right. Where are we at? There we are. Take off my earphones. Love is the answer. Alright, so we want the birdhouse, whorehouse. Or let's see, so there's the birdhouse. In this case, you want love, so you want to think heart. And there's the okay, good. I started this back in May. I mean, but it can't count because I was studying like for about 3 years' time, 10 years ago, for about a period of about 3 years or so, and I pretty much was stopped for the most part, stopped for 6 years. So, trying to catch back up to where I was. So that's why I can go a little bit faster and whatnot. Let's see, it's a birdhouse. Huh? Yep, right there. Aye. Okay, let's keep going. There's 65 to go. Bake. Okay. Alright, so remember, baking, so in this case you want to be in the oven. You want to bake, instead of gingerbread cookies, you want to bake straw man cookies. Straw man. Make straw man. Give it a nice odor. Bake. Negate, negative mouth. So you want to do negative. And then mouth, negate. Mouth is the gate. Negate. And that's Ina. He. Okay. Printing block. So that's the do the one-sided, and you want to do the printing block. Means you see the opposite side of it. Well, you understood. Yeah, that's the idea. Okay. Yeah, and if you're doing Gink now, if you're finishing Ethan, if you're going to finish Ginky 1 and 2, that's a good time to now start into what's called the subs to SRS, subtitles to space repetition system, which is Anki. In other words, start using your basic knowledge of Japanese, which you'll have with Ginkys 1 and 2. That's basic, believe it or not. And that'll use that to now use Japanese to get better at Japanese. Use real Japanese. Okay, so we got impart. So that's the fingers. So that's knowledge. So it's by imparting knowledge. But see, fingers at the, let's say, the brothel, which is the birdhouse. I'm going to say that. This is like the birdhouse brothel. Right there. Impart. Okay, we got mainly using Hazing to remember pronunciation between different vocabulary. What number do you think I would probably only see one that kanji in 1 and 2 words at most? I mean, look, there are spreadsheets. I can do the math to kind of answer that. That's why I'm not flow. So what I'm saying. That's why I just recommend. There's my recommended path. All right, I already did the math. The first 555 account for 75% by frequency. That next 555 you add on to that brings that, instead of 75% frequency, now it's up to 90% frequency. If you add in another 1,000 past that, now it goes from 90% frequency to 98% frequency of appearance. Okay, and that's a pretty big coverage. So anyway, that's the reason why these kanjis are spread out in the way they are. Same thing with vocabulary. Again, I've already done. Again, the math has already been done. We've already, again, documents, books, the internet has been scanned and filed and done, and again, evaluations have been done on them. So yeah, that's the reason why it's like don't have to try to do you don't have to overthink it too much. Just hey, if you got your own path, stick with it. Yeah, don't try to. You don't have to really create something new. The only thing you need to do is like what you have to do to make it so you remember it. That's the thing you got to do on your own. Okay, so this is rain. I think of Neptune raining on the water on his pedestal throne. Rain. This is yeah, right there. Salutations. I want to think of kind of like that. That's at the, and should be with that. And don't mix it up with the tree. This is a day. Yeah. So you see how these two, I keep missing these two up. So I got to be careful on that. Broaden. So that's again kind of like hiroi, but this is broaden to make bigger. So there's the fingers that's going to make bigger something that's already wide. Kaku. There. Slope. The kanji for pedestal looks like kanji for machine. Well, it's die. It's not the kanji for machine. It's kanji for counters for cars. That's die. Kanji for machine really is like this thing right here. Kind of like there's ki and then there's kai. I mean, that's also, there's different words for machine. So I mean, there's also different kanji that imply the term mechanics or machinery. Let's see, slope. So that's Saka, right? Yeah. So this is like slope or a hill. So I want to do. So think of dirt going in the opposite direction of the ground. So it becomes a hill. Or all right. So slope. Task. This is the full kanji for taskmaster. So it's where you're trying to. The task is to get past the halberd wielding henchman. So you got, you got Indiana Jones doing it through spying, and Superman doing it through brute strength. Task. Work smarter, not harder. Right there. task. Sutomeru. Tender. Alright, so this is the, when you use the halberd, try to cut down a tree from the top bottom, your hands are going to be really tender at the end of the day. Tender. Okay, I don't think Genki 2 alone has enough grammar. Well, no, I mean, again, Genki 1 and 2 is going to get you up to the equivalent M4 level. That's all. I mean, so don't think like you're going to be fluent in Japanese just because you finish those 2 books. It is like, that gets you started into the real path to Japanese. There we go. And it's good. So again, that's the problem is like, and that's why I'm amazed that colleges take so slow getting through it. It shouldn't. They try to make it more difficult than it is. They're trying to, people try to use this really basic grammar to try to communicate. It's like, okay, how about just use it to understand what Japanese instead of trying to communicate in Japanese. Let's see. All right, now remember, Ethan. Try not to you got to understand the reason why we're trying to put English meanings on top of kanji to make it easier for us to kind of comprehend it. But what you'll find out, just as we have synonyms in the English language, in other words, words that have similar meanings even if they're pronounced differently. Same thing with kanji; they're going to have similar meanings even if they're written differently. So remember, they try to teach it to you simply so it's easier to learn, especially the basics early on. But you got hopefully they're telling you it's like, okay, yeah, this is a basic concept here. There's much more subtlety that goes into it as time goes on, as you start increasing your knowledge in the language. But yeah, yo is task, or yeah, let's see, one-sided. But yeah, and that's why I try to not teach kanji to keyword, because again, it kind of reinforces that wrong mindset that there is like one meaning to this kanji. There's multiple meanings to this kanji. Like renowned. See right here we got, well, that's a bad example. Okay. I don't have any meanings for it. Let's see, this is the flower-winning sex doll wearing a flower crown. Renowned, right there. Like right here for bestow, these are different meanings this kanji could be applied to in Japanese. That's how you can look at it. Let's see what we got. We got bestow. So this is there, bestow. Similar to copy with the ataeru right there. So this whole thing with kanji is sort of a trick. All right, so this is Scarface. What I think of are either Al Capone, Scarface, or something. Somebody, not someone. Right there. Destitution. That's where you fall down into using. Okay. Tobo. Bimbo. I usually think of bimbo for this. Kanji are like building blocks to actual work. Yes. Now remember, kanji, Japanese existed, the language existed before kanji was introduced to it. So what they did is they forced kanji onto their language and made it work in that way. That's the reason why it's sort of complicated how the kanji are used in, kind of like with English, we like to borrow from a lot of different languages. So that's the reason why we have such weird rules. Like almost our rules have there's no pattern to it. There are some areas of it where if you follow the Latin roots, all of a sudden it does have some patterns, or you follow Germanic roots, you start seeing patterns. But that's a really complicated way of looking at it. And same works with Japanese, where you're trying to figure out how they use onyomi, kunyomi, ataji, and some other things with it. Judgment. So that's cutting the baby in half. And it's the Judgment of Solomon, right there. So the whole purpose is trying to simplify all that, saying don't worry about the rules, don't worry about the origins of these kanji, all right? Because it's not going to help you get better in Japanese. Later on it might, but for right now. All right, so this is scatter. That's the chef salad. Indiana Jones making the chef salad and scattering it everywhere, right there. They could be related or completely unrelated to words that make it. Yes. Sometimes, remember before, hiragana, katakana, kanji were also used for pronunciation. There was a kanji, it was only used for its pronunciation value, not the meaning of the kanji, but just how it was pronounced. That's what those are called, I think, ataji. That's you got some offshoots of that, or you got some remaining things for that as well. So let's see, shoots, that's somebody, Scarface or Al Capone shooting somebody with a glue gun. There we go, shoot. Iru. There. Hakun versus Shido. Yes. Haku would be the onyomi. Shiro is the kunyomi. Dirty. Yogure. So you think of some dirty, clean it with water. And you want to say a snare. Stop over for a little bit. There we go. That second stroke could be the watermark. Okay, apologize. Apologize. Never. Okay, it's big up to the words. There's Scarface apologizes for shooting the wrong person. So sorry. Didn't mean to. Still friends, aren't we? Apologize. Right there. Okay. Okay, cool. We still got 45 left. Still going good. Alright. Yeah, used to depend on work. So in other words, right now you learn kanji. You learn like in other words, what we're doing here is you're learning kanji in English. So it's as if these are emojis. You know, imagine these are like pictures of animals or cars or plants or whatever. They're just emojis. All right, and you have an English word for that emoji. Now you're going to find out is like when you start learning Japanese, how are the Japanese using these little symbols in their language? All right, and there's going to be some, and there's not going to be any really. Some rules are going to be pretty easy to predict, and others are going to be kind of weird. Right? But yeah, so this makes learning the vocabulary easy, and then you're going to learn the rules based on the vocabulary. Oh, sorry. Let me group, Control Delete. All right, so there we go. So we want to grope the miniskirt. The lady wearing the miniskirt was being groped, so she climbed up on top of the tree to avoid being groped. This could also be search for, I believe. Yeah, search or look for, grope. Overall. Okay, so that was the. Oh yeah, so that's Spider-Man. That was given the overall best arrest record in overall New York because he was allotted the. Yeah, it's a really bad story, Suberu. It's not a really good story. I need to improve that story. Shrink. All right, so that's Spider-Man. Clothes shrunk at the end. There's In, which is Batman staying there for 100 days till his mansion got rebuilt. And that's okay. Shrink, Shuku, Shinjuku. Soldier, Buffalo. Okay, soldier climbing on the hill. Look like little ants with animal legs. Oh, sorry, right there. That's hay. Okay, here we go. Okay, Ethan's saying, sorry, these are dumb questions. Trying to wrap my hand around stuff that probably doesn't matter at this point in the studies. Well, as long as you're understanding, like, look, there's none of these things you're going to learn, especially in basic, are set in stone. There are going to be exceptions, and don't act all flustered that you find out that there are exceptions. We're just trying to get you learning some really basic stuff, and then as you become comfortable with that, then we can start messing with your head. But yeah, isolate. Okay, isolate. Let's see, this was, oh, right. This was at the Buffalo Bob or Silence of the Lambs. Was isolating people. So it's like he isolated himself. He was learning the rules of fashion in Paris, and then he started doing the stuff to boil people, stick them to the ground. Yeah, isolate. Kaku, right there. Neighboring. Okay, so again, this is from yesterday as well. So this is the Eiffel Tower again, but throwing rice over neighboring areas and then people had to wear their evening glasses to keep the rice out of their eyes. Tonari. This is the Tonari no Totoro. Tonari no Totoro. Tonaru. Alright, program I'm writing with is called Smooth Draw 4.0.5, which is yeah. Okay, so Crash. So that's the regiment. So you want to see regiment, which is the Eiffel Tower War Regiment. Oh yeah, that's really ugly. And then they collided with the opposing area and crashed them into the ground, or drove them into the ground. Crash. Right there. But yeah, it's a free program. Just do a search for it. If you have a writing pad. Stab. Okay, that's the hole left in the dog after the dog was stabbed. He stabbed something and left a hole in the dog. Big dog. Scoot. Right there. Weave. Alright, so that's Spider-Man weaving his, or mending his suit to the sound of a kazoo playing his theme song. Okay, so that's weave. Remember, it also means fabric, so like clothing. So that's weaving as in clothing. Regiment. Alright, he kind of did that, but then think of the regiment. Think of the Eiffel Tower Boer Regiment, the Wild Boars, you know, and or horned pigs if you want to do that. Right there. Okay, that's good. So yeah, if this is if you just enjoyed listening to me talk, that's fine. But if you really want to learn Japanese, and obviously starting like where I'm at right now, which is like in the middle of the basic lessons, it's probably not a good part. You want to start at the beginning of the basic lessons. All right, so this is deep. So maybe this is in the water. Oh, sorry, let me undo that. The miniskirt lady wearing a miniskirt didn't want to get her skirt wet, so she climbed up on top of the tree that was in the deep end of the water. Tai Kim he's asking why I use Tai Kim over Genki. Tai Kim is free to use. It's released under Community Commons license, Creative Commons license, so I can adapt it. So that means everybody I know can have access to it. Genki is just as well, but I don't have any spreadsheets or things with Genki. Vertical. I think Genki would be better, but there's no way I can, technically use that. Let's see. So when Spider-Man goes vertical, so he's accompanied by a throng of. So accompany is the 300 when the tate right there. Winding. Okay, so that's Spider-Man. Trying to wind his way through the nest, collecting nests on top of the tree, or maybe. There. This is Kuri. So Kuri Kayasu, that would be this thing. Right there. Yeah. But yeah, if you got something similar, and I think some people put Genki, I don't think they did it to the quality which I've made the memorized courses for Tai Kim at the moment. Okay, so this is class. Now this is level, not class as in school. So this is, again, we're doing Spider-Man. You ever notice like he's working either high class or low class? He saves, everyone who reaches out, any babies that want to reach out for help, he'll do it. Class, grade, rank, Q. Okay, general. So it means Spider-Man is loved, generally loved in the heart, in the public's. There's the public's hearts. General. Soul. Thong. But yeah, I mean, you can take Genki and try to do like I'm doing with Tai Kim, which is, again, have a level which is just the vocabulary words for that chapter. Then also have the example sentences. Have another level where it's just doing the example sentences from that chapter. And just do it like that for every grammar point. Try to have like 3 to 5 example sentences that expand upon that grammar point. That's all. And then maybe use a text-to-speech engine if you don't have a native level or some native speaker reading the sentences, and save that as well. It's up to you. Yeah. Anyway, what was it doing? Thong. Okay, so this is the thong bikini, Spider-Man thong bikini, on the love doll. So there's Spider-Man. Then we're going to do the love doll. So this is thong. Okay. And it's more of a strip of leather or rope or cord right there. How are we doing? We're hitting the hour mark. Oh, hopefully I can be able to get tighten. So again, that was the Spider-Man tightening he was standing in the kitchen, tightening his apron around that. And that's Sovereign right there, but I'm not too worried. Shimeru. Oh, there it is. Cord. Oh, parachute cord. You think cord, think parachute cord. Okay, so we want to do, there's 10 crowns, that's the parachute, and then like the little venom thing for maybe the cords attached to the thing. Let's see, cord. Right there. Salary, so that means Spider-Man's salary can't make ends meet or can't fit into fit. Want to fit. It's Q. Q. Right there. Chronicles. Where's Chronicles of Spider-Man and Snake Voldemort. So Spider-Man. There's the Snake. And for this, you can use Voldemort. I just have been using Snake, but yeah, Voldemort. If you're into Harry Potter, works as well. It still works so much better when you got comic book characters. I don't know. I mean, it just makes things so much funner. Yeah. So much more fun. Yeah. All right, 3 more of these, and I'll be getting into. Let's see, introduce. All right, so that means that's Spider-Man again. So in this case, introduce. But in this case, it's going to be seduce. Okay, Shokai, Chico Shokai. Okay, Plo, what are your thoughts on never practicing listening, speaking? So that's a bad idea. Yeah, I mean, if for nothing else, that way you hear it in your head. When you're reading, you're hearing that sound in your head. That's all. I mean, it's a minor thing. I mean, speaking should be the easiest thing because that's the easiest way to watch anime. The easiest way to get, writing is a creative thing that happened after a language has already existed for thousands of years. Writing came about a few thousand years ago. Maybe 2,000 or 3,000 years ago. But language had been around for 10,000 years or more. Let's see, distract. That's when parted. That's okay. Spider-Man was distracted when his, maybe his. Parted. Wait a minute, or distracted to wait a minute. Yeah, it could be comic books, mangas, TV shows, movies, whatever. But listening should be a major part of doing. Now, if you don't want to do any type of listening whatsoever, my course is a really bad thing to follow because listening is a big part of the course. Same with reading is a big part of the course. Let's see, boom, distracted. Yeah, and I just think that's a bad idea, Flo. I mean, if you're only it's so much easier to learn Japanese through speaking, and then that makes the reading that much better because now you can hear people talking while it's reading, so you get some comprehension going as well. Again, it's just like you're purposely handicapping yourself for no other reason than something you don't even realize. Like in a few years, if you get good in Japanese, it actually is maybe fun to where you can actually listen and understand what people are saying. Orders. Let's see. So orders. Oh, sorry. Okay. Let's do this again. Come back here. All right. Orders. Oh yeah. So we want to do right there. That should be orders. Make sure. So this is Mayday. Yeah, day. Right there. Tense. Okay, so that means Mr. Slave loved all, or Mr. Slave, which is slave and crotch. Mr. Slave from and then tense. So maybe he's gonna have sex with the Venom character, so he feels very tense about that idea. Oh, Jesus Christ! I can't do his lisp. Tense. Right there. Inherit. Alright, so the only thing Spider-Man inherited was Uncle Ben's rice, which he got hooked on. Alright, flow. Inherit. Well, again, Plo, I mean, like I said, you're an adult, or actually, I don't know your age, but you're an adult. You know what you want, so just go for it. I just, again, can only recommend against it. Again, some people times when you read, I mean, Japanese is something you can read fast, because because these symbols right here actually make it to where it's a lot easier to process in your head if you don't sub-vocalize it in your like they do for speed reading. They try to train you as the don't sound out words in your head, so you're just getting the ideas or concepts into your head instead. I mean, that's a theory anyway. But again, that's always thought like the purpose of Japanese is, you know, you're not just going to want to read stuff, you want to actually listen to it or watch it. You know. Komekai. Settlement. Okay, so that's the class action lawsuit when he broke inside, or maybe it could be Spider-Man as a surgeon sewed up too much webbing inside. Let's see, Ethan, if you're asking me how far am I into my own study plan, I'm about, if I want to go up to finish an intermediate part 2, so that's about, then I'm about, if you count each of those as being, so about 1/6 of the way through. How's that? About 1/6 of the way through my study plan right now. Fate. Hopefully I'll start picking up steam. Fate. Yeah, so that's Mayday again. So Fate, that's where you meet. Well, or also right there, Fate. And it started to be arcing too, about 2,000 vocabulary. Yeah, so you're a little bit where I was 8 years ago. I need to, you know, I did another year or so. I kind of got up to 3,500 vocabulary and 2,500 kanji and about 10 hours worth of dramas that I had processed. So, age. Although, of course, what I'm doing is I'm not just, I could be going faster if I wasn't doing streaming or whatnot, but it turns out but I was keep stopping, or I was letting like life get in the way. By doing streams, it kind of forced me to keep going, you know, pushing more, and also make sure that my courses are good to go, like good for other people to utilize to learn with, which is important to me as well. That's why you find a lot of decks on Anki are not actually that good, because they're designed for big people who are just doing it for themselves. So they don't really care if other people can make use of it or not. It takes a lot of work to create a deck or a course that can work for a lot of people. Because you know, again, like stories or whatnot. You know, again, my stories may not resonate with you if you don't know who these characters are. Like if Boy Scouts is not a thing in your area of the world, then you know using Boy Scouts for compass is not going to make sense to you. Or if you don't know what a sex doll is, then obviously then like here for various, this is microphone, this is the sex doll right there. Right? But if you don't understand what a love doll or sex doll is, then that doesn't resonate with you. You know, with these weird stories. Or when you start doing pictures to like when you're learning vocabulary, you want to learn pictures to Japanese words, which is really good, as opposed to using English prompt to. Okay, edgy, long distance. Okay, that's the prosthetic leg. Help you got the size of a giant, got to carry travel long distances. Kyori, right there. We're almost done. Cramped. Yep. The scissors. Semi. And stimulate. That's where Batman's stimulating his sore legs. Right there. And chase. Let's see. That's the maestro on the road. Orchestra maestro. Skeleton. Okay, that's the bone joint. And then there's the fleshy part of the body. Skeleton. Hone. Right there. Alright, so let's see. I see you're more focused on recognition to be able to write the readings. Okay, in this part, the purpose of this part is just kanji to English. Okay, that's all. The vocabulary is where the pronunciation becomes important. And that's that's a different course. So, again, this is the divide and conquer concept. That's all this is. That's the whole idea behind all this. Anyway, it helps if I write it first. Alright, so contrast, compare and contrast. So this was contrast what Darth Vader used to drive as a kid, as opposed to top hat wearing. Now he's wearing a top hat, he's all fancy, he wants to drive a TIE fighters now, instead of his pod racing. Leap. Alright, so that's the prosthetic limb on the Peacock. He was able to leap very far now. Okay, there. And even if you don't use these kanji for English, it becomes a parlor trick. But it's a fun parlor trick, and especially if you move to Japan, you already have all these kanji in your head. Stuff makes a lot more sense. It's not 100%, but it's definitely kind of fun. And I'm speaking from experience there, because when I started learning kanji first, and it probably got me to where but the other thing I wanted to make sure is that you don't need to learn 2,000. We got let's just say we in the kanji.kohi community, the Kohi forum community, got a little crazy. We kind of got obsessive with kanji, a little too obsessive, and we had to make sure, like, the purpose of learning kanji is to learn Japanese, eventually learn Japanese, and so you just don't want to have a plan to learn 6,000 kanji that you're never going to be like when again, it's going to be like this rare use. You're just doing it for the sake of just knowing kanji. Then again, that's nice and all, but that makes it more of a fanatical, more of a weird hobby as opposed to for the purposes of language learning. So yeah, so I got these all split up in their purpose. This is the reason why these are all split up in the way they are. So learn hiragana, learn katakana. That's the biggest thing right off the bat. Learn hiragana, learn katakana. Learn 555 kanji. All right, use those 555 kanji. Now learn some basic grammar, learn basic vocabulary. Some more basic grammar, some more basic vocabulary. All right, now you're up to 1,000 vocabulary words and some basic grammar concepts. Now learn another 555 kanji, then some more basic grammar, or end up the rest of the basic grammar, rest of the basic vocabulary. Now you're up to 2,000 vocabulary words. Formal vocabulary words, you're up to whatever vocabulary words you picked up from the grammar, but also grammar concept itself. Hopefully you also start, now you're going to do some basic Japanese grammar from a dictionary. It's going to really give a more detailed explanation of what's going on as opposed to what Tai Kim did. And also start doing Japanese drama. Alright, so it's, again, these are all paths to take it. Yeah, JPing, I wouldn't say JPing, but I guess that was the term they used for learning a bunch of kanji. But yeah, I just felt like, okay, what Heisig did by learning all 2,000 made sense, because he did it all in 30 days and got it out of the way. He didn't have to worry about kanji after that anymore. Now he just had to worry about how Japanese use that kanji in their language, which he did, and he knew how to learn a language because he had learned like 2 or 3 prior to that anyway. He knew what he knew what he was doing. Most of us don't know how to learn a language, so we're going off hopefully someone telling us what to do, and trying to emulate what Heisig did without being in his circumstances is a bad idea, because he was living in Japan and he was going to start living with a Japanese family, and learning directly that way. That's not an option a lot of us have. All right, we're stuck with the internet and whatever resources are on there. Hence the reason why I wanted to set this up in a way that makes it easier for the basic person to get into it. Anyway, expert maestro. This is Shisho. Right, that's what he did. He was doing it full time. Plo says 30 days. Yeah, he did it 8 to 12 hours a day for 30 days. Yeah, and he covered 2,000 kanji, and he could write it from memory, no problem. But he didn't speak Japanese. He would tell you that he did not know Japanese. He knew 2,000 kanji as if they were as if they were an English concept. And then but that made the Japanese he began to learn much easier to do. That's okay. But what the hell, hinder? Oh, I thought we were done. Okay, sorry. Hinder. Come here. Where are we at? Okay. Hinder. Thought I was already done with the. Okay. Okay, that's all good. Sweet. Yeah, I am talking too much, I know, but hopefully it's fun. I mean, like I said, it's good talking to people on the chat. Although they're hearing me, they're asking a question, they're probably hearing it like 10-15 seconds later because of the delay, but such is life. Alright, so let's see. We are Let me bring this back down. Let's see what we got. Okay. We're getting close. Well, we're about to be 800 members on the. That's cool. In the self-study or in the group study. All right, so we are good. Let's go to remembering the kanji. Guess I'm gonna have to bring up a new sheet. Let's see what page. Yeah, we'll do you. Okay. Some coffee. All right, RTK 63. All right, we'll see how I do on that. And do RTK 64 too. We'll have 10. Yeah. So if we can get 2 lessons done today, we'll have 10 more left to go in this whole series. In this course, and go from there. Okay, so we are 67% of the way done. 1/3 of the way done. Cool. Done. Let's see. Ethan asked, how many hours a day do you get it? I don't know. Right now I'm up to 3 hours a day. But some of the stream is me jibber jabbering, but I guess that's kind of like the equivalent of like taking a quick little breaks here and there, mental breaks. God damn it. Hate when that happens. Spilled some water. It happens. Okay. Alrighty, cool. Alright, let's get this done. Alright, so I've got everything. Let's see, we're going to start with, let's see, okay, cool. Jurisdiction crap. Okay, so we got orders. Okay, we got you, and we are on, there we go, age, right there. Alright, okay, that looks good. Guess I can begin. Get the time going. Alright, so the time is now 1 hour, 12 minutes, 30 seconds. It is the 30th. I get a bad feeling, I guess it depends on how it's going to go, but we'll find out. And welcome, this is Nuke Marine, presenting the Suggested Guide for Japanese Literacy. Course series on Memorize that helps teach you Japanese in a self-study from complete beginner up to intermediate, and hopefully beyond. The course currently on is course number 8, Remembering the Kanji Optimized, Part 2, which presents the second set of 555 kanji from 2001 Kanji Odyssey book series by Coscom, and presenting those in Heisig's Remembering the Kanji Order for optimized learning. If you've been enjoying this, if you enjoy this video, don't forget to like the video, and if you haven't already, consider subscribing. Likewise, if you've find this been useful for you learning Japanese, anybody asks, consider sharing it on multimedia that for people interested in learning Japanese from self-study. All right, so in this course, for course number 8, this should be lesson number 63. So let's go there. Alrighty, and let's see. It looks like we've got a few dealing with the order primitive. And we're going to learn fingerprint. Let's see, garden, tamago or rabbit ears or willow ear, probably rabbit ears. Let's see, ransom note. So we're going to be learning a few primitives going through this list, so it shouldn't be too bad. Again, some of these you've already seen. A lot of them you haven't. So we'll find out. Let's begin. Preview. So first thing should be cool. Let's see if it's in the order it needs to be. Alright, so that's not the first word. Let's get to cool. Alright, so here we go. So we got, after we finish this, we'll get 3 more to go. Alrighty. So the purpose is we're going to show you is the Heisei keyword. The keyword is roughly related to the meaning of this kanji. It's not the only meaning. There are some other meanings based on how it's used by the Japanese in their language. So we'll go over that as well. The other purpose of this keyword is help you think of this story that can help you then write this kanji from memory or recognize it from memory at least. Finally, I'll be introducing you with some Japanese vocabulary that utilizes this kanji. But the purpose is not to purpose of this course is not to memorize this vocabulary, nor is it to memorize the pronunciation attached to the kanji from this vocabulary. This is more for completionist sake, or later on when you're doing reviews after learning vocabulary. This might help you if the keyword is failing you, and help you recall what the kanji should be. All right. With that said, we can go on. So we say keep cool somewhere. All right. So let's begin. Let me get a sip of coffee first. All right. And where's my pen? There we go. Let us begin. So this is cool. Don't confuse it with cold. Cool. Sameru, let's see, sumetai, like chilly. Hiyasu, but it's not like a nice cool, not like Suzushi. It's just like, but yeah, not completely freezing, but in between. So sameru, samaru, like become cool down, cooling something. Yeah, hiyasu, hiyashite. All right, let's see. Here we have is reikyaku, cooling or refrigeration. See, I think, is it reizoko? Also be reitan, coolness, indifference. And kanrei, coldness, chilliness. All right, cold. All right, if you look at it, you can see it's ice and orders. Orders to keep your water cool, or you keep your drink. You probably say drink. Keep your drink cool. Just order some ice. Alright, so we'll say that. So, ice. Need some ice and order. Ice and order. Let's see what Heisei has to say. Orders, right here. And I'll tell you what, this is what we'll be doing. Alright, so since we're doing this for a couple of, let's do that. So we're going to be doing orders, which is that, a little drop, kind of like the 7, but then make that, kind of like the ma. Okay, orders. So we're going to be doing that. Let's see what Heisei says. So we got orders, 0. I like that kanji. Age, we already did. Cool. Ice and orders. Alright, order some ice. Keep your drink cool, order some ice. Alright, so there we go. So ice right here. We want to do order. So we're going to do that. Let's do that. Drop. Let's do it in 2 parts. Drop. Order some ice. Alright. That's cold. Keep your cool. Keep your drink cool. Order some ice. Order some ice. Next kanji. Jurisdiction. I was always think of the scene from, I don't know why it was just the scene from The Matrix, where the cop is telling the Agent Smith, you can give me that jurisdiction crap, you can take those and shove them up take those orders and shove it in your head up your ass, or that's how I was doing it. But anyway, this is jurisdiction. Could mean dominion, territory, fief, reign, jurisdiction. So yeah, the area in which you're in control of. Words that use this: ryodo, dominion, territory, possession. Yoryo, point, gist, the essentials, the outline. Okay, so that's the and then daitorio. Oh, daitorio. This is president. This is the name for like a president of a country, or the chief executive of a company. President of a country, chief executive of a company. Daitorio. Here's one story. The 2 cowboys are crossing the state line. One says to the other, do you know that in this jurisdiction there are orders, there's orders to get your head? So he takes out his gun and shoots him. And he claims a reward afterwards. Okay, so this is a jurisdiction about the arrest. In this jurisdiction you can be arrested. Orders and head, maybe it's also you want to think of the purge, you can bring that along as well. Let's see what Heisei says. So we got age, cool. Jurisdiction, orders and head, no story, nothing there. So let's we'll bring this over here. Okay. All right, jurisdiction. All right, so jurisdiction. There are orders for your head. In this it's my jurisdiction. We've under orders to bring in your head. Orders. Orders to bring in your head. All right, jurisdiction. So we got orders. Cool, jurisdiction. Next kanji. Doubt. This looks Really? Okay. I'll go with that. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so doubt, distrust, to be suspicious. Question. So utagao, gi, doubt, distrust, suspicion. Utagao, ginan, doubt, suspicion, okay? Gimon, question or a problem or a guess. And yogi, behavior or deportment. No, take that back. Second one. Yogi, suspect or charge. Second word. Okay. Let's see. When we're looking at the kanji, let's see. We're seeing sitting, darts, the stamp, and then the mend. Kind of a weird mend. Alright, so Katsuo. You come to a zoo entrance. Here, sir, a spoon to feed the animals. Cool. And a dart gun in case stuff goes wrong. Please. Chop sealed, sign in case acts good. And finally, a lion feeding time at the zoo. Alright, you have serious stuff, so if you want to go into... Okay, so this is the doubt going to the zoo when they give you all these things to take care of. Okay, I like that. Alright, I think I remember that way back when. So doubt. Let's see what Heisig says. So we got jurisdiction, small bell. By the way, that's Suzuki. If you ever heard Suzuki, this is the kanji for Suzuki and tree. That's the anyway, sorry. Courage. So we got the chop seal again. Traffic, jump. A little different than leap. And then here we have his doubt. So spoon, dart, chop seal. Now we have his zoo. So let me just show you real quick zoo. Alright. By the way, don't forget this is chop seal. Stamp. You know, it'll kind of like the regular rubber stamp. There you go, rubber stamp. For zoo, kind of like mend, or mending, but in this case you want to do it like just that little hook there. So maybe that's the little hook that you use to, when you're having to clean the mend or clean the cages of a zoo, you have to use that hook to grab the animals so that you can keep them at bay while the cleaners can go in and take care of the cell or whatnot, or the cage. So, okay. So anyway, so now we got to do doubt. First thing is like, alright, here's you doubt want to go into zoo, where the first thing you do is give you a spoon to feed the animals. Alright, and then a dart gun, in case something goes wrong. Okay, got the dart gun. Alright, then, here's a rubber stamps. You need to stamp your pass to make sure you've agreed to these conditions, terms and conditions. Alright, and finally, okay, with all that done, you can then, and finally, then and only then can you enter the zoo. Alright, so there you go, zoo. Or, doubt. Yeah, so this is not zoo, this is just primitive that they relate to zoo, because that little hooked mend. Alright, it's up to you. So if you think zoo, or if you want to hook you use to mend something, is a hook mending tool, a hooked mending tool. Next kanji. Pattern. So, example or a model. Pattern. Han, an example or model right there. Han-i, first word. Extent, scope, sphere, range, span. Here we have is Shihan. Second word, an instructor, or a teacher, or a model, fencing teacher, or a model of something. And then finally, Mohan, an exemplify, a model or example. Okay, good. So these are all patterns, but also mainly it's about a model of things. Let's see, we got bamboo, car, and what we're going to learn is fingerprint. So this pattern made of bamboo is new for a model car. It's designed to leave as small a ecological, in this case fingerprint, instead of footprint, fingerprint as possible. That's not the story I remember using, but okay. Again, I copy a lot of this stuff. Let's see what Heisig says. So we have his mimic. So we have doubt, mimic, congeal. So here we have his fingerprint. Let's bring that up real quick. It kind of looks like stamp, but what you're going to do is do right here, and then finish off kind of like a club foot. That's a little ugly. Kind of like, and then club. God damn it! Oh, down. Right there. Let's see what the stroke order looks like. Yeah, you can see right there 14, and it comes up here. So kind of like you're doing stamp, but with instead of a longer stroke. Fingerprint is like stamp, except for the second stroke bends and toward the right like an arm. Okay, good. Now we have his pattern, bamboo, car, fingerprint. Question, Ethan, what are you using to look up hiragana? Huh? I'm not. Oh, I've just got a program called Rikai-kun. Rikaikun. Rikai-kun, or also Rikai-chan, depending on whether you're using Firefox browser or Chrome browser. And yeah, if you highlight over Japanese words, it will give you some definitions and stuff. Let's see, bamboo pattern, bamboo carved fingerprint. Alrighty, so let's see if we can think about that. So if you think of a pattern, maybe, yeah, so you want a pattern of bamboo, using bamboo because they can be grown fast and disposed of fast, to make the new set of cars, because now the cars are lighter and cheaper. Alright, but also so again, in this case they want to say ecological fingerprint. So you want to to reduce the ecological fingerprint. Or if you want to, maybe they pick up fingerprints easier so you can tell if someone's stolen them. So you can do that as a pattern as well. Pattern. Alright, so we got doubt, pattern. Next kanji. Crime. So we got wild dogs and fingerprints. Crime. Now this could be a sin and offense. Okay, some words like okasu, I don't know that word. Han, perpetrators of some crime. Hanzai, it's a crime. Yeah, just right there. Yeah, crime. Kyohan, first word, complicity in a crime. Shinpan, second word, violation, invasion, infringement. Alright, so a pack of wild dogs, and so you think of crime, so you want to send out the wild dogs, and also you want to search for their fingerprints as well. So yeah, the wild dogs, the bloodhounds you send to chase down criminals, crime, and then also fingerprints to go into, or maybe these could be the drug dogs, sniffing out the drugs, and the fingerprints make sure who the drugs belong to. Anyway, that's crime. Wild dogs, fingerprints. What was the story they say? Think of McGruff the crime dog. However, this picture, a entire pack of dogs dressed as McGruff with magnifying glasses looking for fingerprints. Yeah, okay. I don't know. Crime, wild dogs, and fingerprints should be enough. Let's do this. Alright, so you hear about a crime. You always think about, okay, send out the dogs. There's a wild dog. Send out the pack of wild dogs. Ooh. And we get their fingerprints. Alright, pack of wild dogs and fingerprints. Alright, and that's right there. Crime. Hanzai. Next kanji. Address. Can also be just like, unfortunately. This is not jusho, so let's see. Ateru. Addressed to. So ateru, to address to someone. So I guess to address someone, or their address, house, mail, just like, fortunately. I don't like this. Tell you what. I'm not liking that. Some said just like, unfortunately. See, me, I'm thinking house address, but that doesn't feel right. Let me cheat something. Let me do new area right here. Bring this over here. Okay. I don't like that. Something's off. Alright, so let's see. What do we got? Hello. Okay, ateru. Right there. Yeah, to address someone. Address to. Okay. Yeah, so this is to address or refer to someone. Okay, so, alright, I like that, to address someone. But we'll see who's address right now. Address their address. Okay, let's see what Isaac has to say. But anyway, this is the story. For a primitive, it's a high-tech Japanese mailbox. Automatically highlights up in the evening when the biometric fingerprint of your scanner each house address, even if it's hard to see in the evening, it's like its own unique fingerprint. So in this case, you're going with the address as in physical address as opposed to address someone or talk to somebody. Alrighty. So address definition. Alright, addressing. Okay, let me go and close this out. Okay, so we got pattern, crime, unlucky, Dangerous. Okay, so here we have his mailbox, and we're going to do address. Alright, the reason we're saying evening and fingerprints, so let's say mailbox. Okay, let's do this part. Alright. So what he's doing for mailbox is, now this is a primitive only. So let's say evening, so let's say evening, when you come home in the evening and it's a very fancy apartment, so now when you come home in the evening, all you got to do is scan your fingerprint to open up the mailbox. So it can be mailbox. Okay, so now we're doing address, to address someone. You want to address so this is not address, but you want to address, when it's in this address someone, you need to send it to their address. So address, you always think of house, and then when you think of address, you want to think of house where you want to send it to the mailbox itself, because they may not be home. So house, address, which is there's the evening, and then we also want to do the fingerprints, which is what they got to scan their fingerprints to open up the mailbox, especially at night. Or maybe, yeah. Alright, high tech. Okay, so. Alright, we're going to learn willow, or in this case, rabbit ears. This egg, real quick, just say sign the hair, rabbit ears. Egg, ovum, spawn, or roe. Roe is like fish eggs. So some type of egg. In this case, tamago. Yeah, little regular hen eggs, chicken eggs. It's normally when you see that. Let's see, ran o, egg yolk. Okay, so egg and yellow, egg yolk, makes sense. Keiran, hen's eggs. Okay, niwatori and egg, tamago, and sanran, the third word, egg laying, spawning. Okay, cool. So here we go, we're going to find out this Easter Bunny, but the Easter Bunny dropped an egg on my desk and got yolk all over my receipts and stamps. Okay, egg. Let's see what Isaac has to say real quick. So we got mailbox, address, we got arm, garden, grudge. Okay, so let's do receipt, and it looks like stamp. So we'll do receipt, and we're going to do, yeah, stamp. Drop on each side. Alright. Let's do the receipt thing first. Okay, so you probably saw it kind of looks like gonna be kind of like a play on this, but what it's gonna do is do dagger, kind of like a dagger. One, yeah, let's do this in parts. Let's make sure I'm not screwing up on you. Alright, so here's the stroke order. Alright, so 1, 2, 3. Alright, so that makes sense. That's what Isaac's doing. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so let's do that. Okay, so there's the 1. I'm going to do 2. No, let's do this in parts. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Alright, that's receipt. A receipt for something. I guess it could be after you've paid something, there's the elbow for paying something, but in this case this is the maybe the hand holding the receipt in their hand. So this is receipt for after you paid something. What we're going to do for egg yolk is going to be kind of like doing receipt. 1, 2, 3, and then we're also going to do 3, what's called or basically also stamp. So receipt and stamp right here. So maybe this is if you ever seen eggs, you ever notice that when you get the receipt and you look at the eggs, each of them have a stamp on each egg saying when the eggs are good to eat, when they're a good till. So they've all been stamped with an expiration date. And let's say it's like a little drop on each. So let's do this in parts. Alright, we're going to do stamp or receipt. Now, let's make sure I'm doing this right. Okay, so it looks like the drop goes in the middle of it before I finish it off. So 5, 6, 7. Okay. I screwed that up. Alright, now we're going to do the drop. So 1, 2, drop. Alright, now we got the receipt. Now we want to do the stamp. Stamp the eggs to make sure that they're good. Alright, so we want to do 1, 2, 3. Alright. By the way, I completely... Alright. So this is supposedly egg. So we've got stamp, receipt and stamp, a little drops there. So maybe that's the drop of the yolks inside to show that the yolks are good of the eggs. That's really complicated, and I apologize. Just the nature of the beast. Let's see what we have here. tree, receipt, stamp. But right there we got egg. And what I'm saying is like drawn a little higher up, like it's showing here. So if you want to, you can draw it like instead of being more of a short stroke, it's more of a longer one. But all right, let's draw it one last time. All right, 1, 2. Let's do this in parts. All right, 1, 2, 3. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4. Longer. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, sorry. All right. Finally, that's eggs, tamago. That's really, I don't know. To me, it seems complicated, but so you got to have practice with that. But yeah, it's like receipt and stamp, but with little drops in between, representing the drops of the yolks of the eggs. Yeah, so eggs sunny side up if you need to. Kind of looks like a weird sunny rabbit ear eggs. Anyway, whew. Sorry about that. Yeah, and receipt and stamp. Usually for that you're going to see is bunny ears. Yeah, let's go to the next kanji. Anyway, so that's tamago, by the way. That's tamago. Next kanji. Detain. All right, now here we have is receipt and dagger. So imagine a receipt with a dagger. I was just thinking ransom note. But anyway, this is detain. Fasten, halt, stop, detain. Let's see. Tomeru, tomaru is to stop or whatnot. Let's see what it's saying here. No words there. Ryui. Heading, paying attention to, bearing in mind. Ryugaku. Studying abroad. Horyu. Reserve, putting on hold, deferment, so detaining, putting on hold. And then rusu. Absent, being away from home, house sitting. Okay, so detain in this case, but fasten, stop. Mainly halt or stop. In this case, use ransom note. Receive a dagger through the door. Works great with detain. Here, the ransom note says the girl has been detained in an undisclosed location. Get her back. Take the ransom to the field, to an empty field. Okay, so, ransom note. So here, detained. Think you've been detained. There's a ransom note. Show you've been detained, and maybe the location of where to take the field, where to take the. So receipt, dagger, rice field. Let's delete this. Alright, so let's do receipt. So we'll do it in parts as well. Okay, that's receipt. Now we'll just do dagger. This together is ransom note. So let's do ransom note, receipt and dagger. And then the field where you're going to take the ransom for the field where the person's being detained at, where you would take the ransom. So detain. Ransom note, field. Or receipt, dagger, field. Next kanji. Now we have his trade. Okay. Or exchange. Trade or exchange. Let's see what we have here. Bo-eki, a trade, foreign trade. Whatnot. Let's see. Nothing new there. We'll say the new ransom note. Receipt stuck to a door from detain appears again. Went to the field. Now it gives instruction: trade the victim for currency you were told to trade. So, yeah, ransom note with money. You trade the money for to get the hostage back, or get the ransom note. See what Isaac says: detain, trade. Meaning here is related. Don't confuse with make a deal or wholesale. But yeah, the meanings are related. Or whatnot. All right, let's go with that. So same as before. We'll do the receipt in its own little small stroke order. Now we want to do again receipt and dagger, which are going to do. Then receipt, dagger, do seashells or seashell currency or money. And if you want to use SpongeBob, you can as well. You know, right there, 2, 3. All right, that's trade. So we got detain, trade. Next kanji, stamp. Full kanji for stamp. As opposed to what we were doing. Okay, so this can mean a seal, a mark, an imprint, symbol, trademark. It gets lots of meanings, okay? A lot of meanings here. And also in reference to using the word for India. So like shirushi, the first word there, a mark, a symbol, or evidence, right there. In, seal or stamp. Insatsu, printing. In fact, it there says that, so it's stamp and printing. Insho, the impression. Cho-in, signature, sealing, or signing. Alright, so this is the full kanji for stamp. We see staple, so we remember from staple gun, and then we have the stamp itself, so stamp. Full kanji for stamp. Let's see what Heisek says. Trade, detain. So let's read out staple. So it's kind of like we had with the first two strokes for, yeah, let's just do that. Alright, let's do staples real quick. So it's kind of like with doing that, but we're going to be doing, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So just think of that as being a staple. And it kind of looks like a weird three-prong stapler. Let me make sure I wrote that right. Right there, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, good. So that's staple. Think of a three-prong stapler, or maybe that is like a stapler has been opened up and there's our three-prong staples. So we got that staples. Small. Now we have a stamp. So maybe before the stamp lost its the little stickiness on the backside, so you had to attach to the envelope with a stapler or a staple. That should be easy enough. Staples and use a staple to put the stamp on the envelope. You know, then before the person thought about glue. Full kind of staples. Sometimes you attach a stamp to an envelope. Yeah, okay, no problem there. Let's do this. Okay. So again, when you hear stamp, think staples and stamps. You know, just in case. So we'll do this individual strokes. 3. Okay, so there's the staple. Then we need the stamp. Remember, a stamp goes down, staple, then a stamp. Alright, and that's stamp right there. And I know it looks like an E. Try not to use those types of mindsets because, you know, it can confuse you with the writing later. Yep, that's it for there. We got 5 more to go. How are we doing on time? We started at 12 minutes, so we're at 28 minutes right now. Okay, not too bad. Next kanji. Okay, entertain. So kind of like a stapler, 2 reverse staplers, the same, and looks like tool belt, but entertain. So okoru, okoshi, millet or rice cake. Roasted or hardened. Kyo, interest, entertainment, pleasure, comparison. So yeah. So okosu, okoru, not sure about that. Let's see. Kogyo. Not okay. So it's the second and third word from the bottom. Kogyo. Industrial enterprise. Also could be entertainment industry or show business. Fuko. Third word. Revival, renaissance, reconstruction. Shinko. Entertainment, revive, interest, pleasure. Shinko. Promotion or encouragement. See, revive or retrieve, okay. Kyomi, interest in something. Kyomi, which is entertain and taste. Interest in something. Kyoshu, second from the bottom. Interest in something. Okay, so it looks like entertaining gist or gist. Yogyo, yokyo, sideshow. Entertainment. Okay. So we have staple and reverse staple, hold up. So either side of monk, so that's a Gregorian chant. Let's see, it's the entertainment, and tools are the tools to entertain you. So let's say maybe it's an entertainment show, maybe it's the Blind Jedi Monk entertainment show. Blind Jedi Monk entertainment show. So you see there's a Blind Jedi Monk in front, you're going to have also on the sides of him, the staples are holding up the sign behind him about the force is with you and I'm one with the force. The force is with me, I'm one with the force. Alright, and then right there is maybe his tool belt where he can, you know, again, because he's blind or whatnot, but he has to, you know, hold up some interesting information for entertain you. You know. So yeah, staple, monk. But let's look at the order here. So the stroke order is going to be important. So let's look at what Heisek has to say. So here we have his stamp, entertain. Let this character represent the wheel of fortune. I don't really like that. Let's see what we got. Okay, so we got do the stamp, do the monk being the same, do the reverse stamp. It's going to be kind of weird. Looks almost like a yo, if you see that, kind of like a weird yo. Then finish off with the tool, entertain. Okay, so this is gonna be kind of a weird thing. So yeah, do the stapler a little bit longer than normal. We're gonna do that. All right, so that's the staple. Then we're gonna do the blind Jedi or the one-eyed Jedi, the one-eyed Jedi show. So let's do, which is, you remember all Jedis look the same. Well, it's the one-eyed Jedi show. So there's a staple, one-eyed Jedi show, and then behind him is the staple and the reverse staple. So maybe two sets of staples are. Let's do this in part. Do this in parts. Kind of like you're doing yo. Okay, so we got the staple, the one-eyed Jedi, whatnot. Or maybe it's like, you know what, maybe you're doing stapler gunfight. So it's just like blind Jedi, or the one-eyed Jedi is having a fight, stapler fight, entertaining himself with the other. You ever notice in office, you want to entertain yourself, you get the staplers, one in each hand, double duking it. You know, you're shooting staplers like you're, like you're shooting off a gun. You know, maybe it hit the blind Jedi, so now now that he's a one-eyed Jedi instead of a blind Jedi. He was a two-eyed Jedi, but now he's a, maybe that's the stapler right there, hit him right above the mouth, boom. All right, and then when you're done, you hit them. You put the staplers into your tool belt, because you know that you're going to use that as like their gun holsters. That could work. That's a good visual. I like that I like that visual. All right, so entertain. All right, you got double duking the staplers, the one-eyed Jedi, double duking the staplers. You know, in an office fight. All right. Then you want to do, when he's done with when he shoots and wins, he puts it into his tool belt. Boom, tool belt, and that's the whole thing for entertainment. Really complicated kanji, but the story is kind of funny. Now that I think about it, yeah, double duking the staplers. Like, put a stapler in each hand. Sure, I will go with that. Left hand, right hand stapler. There's the blind Jedi, or one-eyed Jedi. And you got to be careful with blind Jedi and one-eyed Jedi. Yeah. Oh boy. Alright, good. Acid. Oh, shite. Oh, gods. Okay, we're back to sake bottle. Okay, alright. Okay, so this is acid, bitterness, sour. This is, I think, sweet. Let's see, we have su, vinegar. So acid or vinegar sometimes. Acidic, sui. Let's see, sanmi. Second word, sourness, acidity. Sanso, oxygen or oxygen. Oh, okay, cool. Sanso, oxygen, the element. Shinsan, the second word, hardships, privations. Okay, acids is in that whiskey bottle. So there's a whiskey bottle that the prostitute throws at difficult Johns. So elbow and legs. The prostitute here is elbow with legs and walking. So this is where somebody was just thinking of prostitutes. We'll discuss that. But anyway, here we go. This is what we're learning. Let's go with Heisig real quick. So we got entertain. First thing, real quick, let's do sign of the bird. We already kind of know this, but we'll do it again. So if you remember for sake, sign of the bird. So we're going to be using this a couple of times. Kind of like we're doing West, but make sure though about the stroke order is we're doing whiskey bottle. So we're going to do 2 strokes right there. So that's whiskey bottle, sign of the bird. Okay, let's keep going. So we got sake, bartending, fermentation, cruel, dairy products. So here we have is vinegar, drunk. So that's different vinegar. I know that's but yeah, we're worried about Heisig. So drunk, distribute. Now we have is whiskey bottle, license. Okay, we're going to cover license. We're going to do walking legs or walking things. So this is what's happening. License was the idea. Think of license to kill. Reason is when you're a martial artist, you have to get a license to kill, because you can kill people with your elbows because you're a martial artist. You're like Bruce Lee or Chuck Norris. This would be the Chuck Norris thing, sure. There's the elbows and there's the little legs here. So these are all the methods which Chuck Norris can kill you with his elbows and legs. So he needs a license to kill. License. Then what we're going to do is do elbow. So we think of license here. Then with walking sticks. So this was the idea of, I know I used this was Gandalf or whatnot, but this was the idea of prostitute, was, you know, a license to be able to walking around. You're a licensed prostitute right there. Or again, prostitute walks around showing off her elbows and her legs, whatnot. Okay. Now what we want to do is acid. Okay. So for acid. since the idea is like, okay, think of in a whiskey bottle. So we're gonna do whiskey bottle. We'll do this in two parts. We'll do whiskey bottle. Boom, boom. Okay, so that's whiskey bottle. The prostitutes, you know, they had a license to carry around the acid in that whiskey bottle. Those the licensed prostitutes, in order to protect themselves from Johns or, you know, people who are paying them. Okay, and that's acid, really ugly acid right there, but acid. Also could be vinegar or whatnot, but. But yeah, acid son. Next kanji. I think that's it for this one. We'll do 3 more after this. Okay, so that was 36 minutes. I still got to do the next 3, so let's go to levels and do the last 3 kanji. Okay, now we're going to actually, we've been using this kanji for head. Now we're going to learn the full kanji for head, which is bean and head, or bean head. Mr. Bean looked like a head, or whatever. Okay, table and head. Bang your head, bang the table with your head. Anyway, so this is head, also a counter for large animals. Really. Kabu, head, mind, draw. Zu, zuburu, hair on one's head, bang, fringe. Kabu, atama. But yeah, you're probably going to hear it as atama for head. Let's see, kashira, head, mind, brain, intellect. Let's see, tobu, nope, okay, ignore that. Oh yes, the second word, tobu, head, cranium, or cephalic. Nento, looks like the oldest person. It could also be nento, is second word is for mind. Sendo, the third word from the bottom, sendo, is the boatman. Zuno, head, brains, or your intellect. Zuno, okay, brain and head and brains. There you go. Zujo, the overhead, high in the sky. Zuno, zujo, jutsu, headache. Zutsu, tameitai. And ondo, the second word, workman song, or a marching song. Ondo, interesting. Okay, head of the family sits at the head of the table. Head of the family, head of the table sits the head of the family. At the head of the table sits the head of the family. Head. So that's table and head. Let's see what Isaac has to say. Distribute, acid, waver, revered. Beans. I tell you what, we'll just cover beans real quick. Okay, again, so we got the one, the mouth, then the. But also you're gonna think of. So this is beans, natto, or well, mame. But god damn it. Okay, so we got there, and then we're gonna do like kind of like the bottom part of the vase. All right, so this is like beans. So maybe you take the top off the vase and you put the. This is also for table. All right, so now we want to do head. Let's see. So we got head. Yeah, as a primitive, it's gonna mean table. So coffee bean table, or one coffee table, coffee bean table. So we have head, full kanji, table, and head. Head of the table sits the head of the family. Let's draw that. All right, so at the head of the, to hear head, think head of the table sits the head of the family. We'll do this in 2 parts. Boom, boom, boom. It's the head of the table. Boom, boom, boom. Sits the head. Head of the table. Boom, boom, boom. Sits the head of the family. Boom. That's really ugly for head, but anyway, yeah. Head. Bean. Head. Next kanji. Bountiful. So now you have is like bending on top of a table. Bountiful. Excellent. Rich. Bountiful. Excellent. Rich. Yutaka. Abundant. Wealthy. Plentiful. Yutaka. Hosaku. Sounds like ho. Abundant harvest. A bumper crop. Homan. The second word. Stout. Corpulent. Plump or voluptuous. Okay. So bountiful and full. Hofu. The abundance. Wealth. Okay. Cool. Fuji. Hofu. Bountiful and wealth. So the bountiful feast was so bountiful that it bent the table under its weight. Itadakimasu. So bountiful. Yutaka. Bend bend and or bender and table. You know, maybe Bender was eating so much, drank so much beer, he got so heavy he bent the table. He sat on. Be that. Let's see what we have here. Head, short, bountiful. Think bountiful harvest. You want to be informed from the meaning of this character. Bountiful. Okay. So imagine you put so much food on the table that it bent the table. You know. So bend. We'll do bend in a few parts. Bend. Bountiful. Bending. Bend. Bender. Bend. And we want to do table. Do it a little strong. Do it one more part. All right. So bend. 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to do table. All right. Bountiful. All right. So we got bean, head, bountiful. Next kanji. And I think last kanji. This is the last kanji. Rejoice. Ureshi or yodokobu. Let's see what we have. Do we have ureshi? No, that's probably a different one. Okay, so this is yorokobu, yorokonda, yorokobu, yorokobu. Rejoice, take pleasure in. Here we have is kigeki, comedy or a funny show. So rejoice in drama, comedy show. Hiki, third word from the bottom, joys and sorrows. So sadness and rejoice. Kanki. Not seeing it. I don't see the kanji there, so we'll ignore that word. Okay, so got kigeki and hiki. Ki. Yorokobu. Yorokobu. Let's see this. So rejoice. The samurai sitting on the drums. Sitting on the drum is on a stage, and the people throwing below him are rejoicing with their mouths in unison. It helps me to imagine the placement anyway. Okay, so it's about placement. Here's what Heisig says, because this is going to be introducing table drums or something. But here we go. So short, bountiful. So okay, drum. Okay, so you see it looks like samurai on the table, so it's replaced the top of the table. So imagine, drum does kind of look like a table. In this case, it's a samurai playing a drum. Okay, so the full thing for a drum. I'd imagine you are familiar with some of this and having to enter all of their info to memorize. From having to enter all their info to memorize. Let's see, Ethan. No, what I did is, all I did was copy paste the entire spreadsheet. I had a spreadsheet, just did a bulk import. I didn't do all these individually. Now I'm familiar with it because I individually was thinking of these stories from 10 years ago, and then, yeah, just thinking about it again. Okay, so let's do drum. Then we're going to do rejoice. Samurai's on a table, so we'll just say kind of like on a drum table. Alright, so let's do, this is a primitive, or it should be, it's a primitive, right? Or is it an actual kanji in itself? Yeah, it's just a primitive, so it's not a kanji in itself. So let's do samurai. Okay. And if you need to also, samurai in mouth is like good luck. So that technically is good luck. Yoshi. When a woman kisses a samurai on the balls for good luck. But okay, so we got there, but we're going to also mix it up with either bean or table. But anyway, so this is like, as far as we're concerned, this is drum. Samurai and the samurai table drum. The samurai table drum. Okay, so this is drum. Now what we want to do is rejoice. So imagine like taiko drummers. So it looks like a few samurais are on stage banging their drums, boom, 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 boom. Everybody's like screaming out loud, yeah! You know, because they're like really happy. These samurai are doing their drums really amazing, doing an amazing show for the people. So everybody's happy. So samurai, and we're gonna do drums. There's the samurai. Let's go do the drums. Boom, boom, boom. And then we need to have everyone yelling from down below stage. Let's go and redo that. So there we got the samurai, got the table, samurai drum right there. And then everybody's below that yelling out straight. It says yodokobi, rejoicing, rejoicing. Whew, wow, that took some time. Okay, so let's see what we got. So that's rejoice, yodokobu. Good. Let's see, that should be it. Okay, so that's good. Let's see, it was at 35 minutes. How much time did we take add to that? Alright, 35. So it took about a little over, almost 45 minutes. Let's see, we started at an hour 12. We're at 2 hours now, so yeah, 40, yeah, I'd say 45 minutes or so. Good. Okay, let's go next. Okay, we're all good there. Let's, alright, so I need to go to learn. Let me go and learn these real quick. Probably going to take a break. I'm going to do the second lesson shortly after that, because it's going to take me about over the 3-hour mark, but that's fine. Should be good. So if you enjoyed that lesson, if you haven't already, consider liking the video if you thought that lesson was kind of fun, even if you didn't quite follow along, or if you did. Hopefully you did follow along, especially if you're watching this later in a series. Let's see, we're going to learn these 15 real quick. Whoa, what am I doing? I'm not editing. I need to learn. Learn. Come on, come on. Okay, let's do this. Alright, so that's head. Already covered that. That's bountiful, bending the table. Head. Atama. Bountiful, bending the table. Rejoice, yorokobu. That's order some ice to cool your water. Cool. Ice need to be ordered to cool the water. Cool the water. You need to get some ice or water. This is bountiful. Excellent. Rich. Rejoice. Or take pleasure in something. Yorokobu. That's head. Could also be counter for large animals. Cool. Sameru. Sumetai. Sumetai. Cool. Sumetai. Bountiful. Let's bend the table. Right there. Yutaka. Okay, rejoice. Yorokobu. Take pleasure in. Jurismatic. Orders in your head, up your ass. Jurisdiction crap. Okay. Anyway, that's the story I use, is the one from The Matrix. But it's up to you. Cool. Okay. Sumetai. Sameru. Rejoice. Yorokobu. Right there. Samurai drums. Samurai drums on the mouse yelling. Head. Atama. Yeah. Bean or table. Head of the table. Head of the family. Head. Yorokobu. Rejoice. Rejoice, Yorokobu. Let's see, how are we doing on? Huh. Give me a second, I gotta check something out real quick. Okay. Let me go and actually put this over here and charge it up. Alright. Sorry about that. I just got to do it anyway. I'm out of it now. Okay. Sorry about that. Alright, so this is head. Rejoice, Yorokobu, right there. Cool. Yeah, it's bountiful, right there. Yutaka, cool. There we go. Ice on order. Get ice on order if you want to cool your drinks. Bountiful, bend the table. Bountiful. Jurisdiction. Yo. Head. Atama. Jurisdiction. And it's cool. Cold or chill. It's jurisdiction. Yeah, gonna get some coffee after this too. head. Bountiful. Cool. This order's ice on order. Jurisdiction, that's order in the head. And cool. See, that's right there. Jurisdiction, right there. Nope. Yep. Yes. Okay. Alrighty. And okay, that's good. Do the next 5, then the next 5, then take a break. Doubt. Alright, so that's the weird one. That's the one with kind of a lengthy story to it. Spoon, dart, stamp, zoo. That's pattern, bamboo. Let's see. Pattern of bamboo connections, a pattern of cars, maybe a pattern of fingerprints. It's like, maybe it's always like the idea of pattern as in example or model. Let's see, a pattern of bamboo with the bamboo pattern on the cars. It looked really pretty until it got dirtied up with fingerprints, a pattern of fingerprints. But from far away it looked like a pattern of fingerprints. So if you want to keep that idea of pattern there, example or model. Bamboo car fingerprint. Doubt. Okay, so that was a spoon, dart, stamp, zoo, utagao. Pattern on E. Bamboo car fingerprint. Crime. That's the wild dogs and the fingerprints. Address. Mailbox. It's address a letter to somebody. It'll go to their mailbox at their house. Address a letter to somebody. Crime. Crime dogs and fingerprints. How do you catch criminals committed a crime? That's doubt to go. That's pattern. Example or a model. That's crime. Could be a sin or an offense. Hanzai. Doubt. No doubt. Yep, right there. Spoon, dart. Address. So address somebody. Address a letter to somebody. Pattern. Bamboo car fingerprints. That's tamago. Okay, and again, that's, you'll later on figure out this is like sign of the rabbit. Without the drops, it'll become sign of the rabbit, or it might be droopy rabbit ears. The reason why I did that is because of for Willow when you learn that. In fact, I'll just show you right now. Yeah, so if you ever see this on its own without the, I mean, it is a kanji in and of its It is a kanji in and of itself. Right there. So think of that being like droopy rabbit ears, or think of like a weeping willow, the way the leaves of the weeping willow kind of like droop and whatnot. So like droopy rabbit ears right there. You don't want, it is sign of the rabbit, but you don't want to use that because I've used this for rabbit itself. Use that for rabbit or Bugs Bunny in that case, but yeah, for future reference. Next kanji, crime. There we go. Dogs and fingerprints. Doubt, right there. Crime again. Hanzai, address, ateru. To address. Let me address that person. Egg, tamago. Ran. Egg, could be ovum or roe. Kura. Pattern. Example or a model. Address. Let's see, make sure about the evening and stamp. Yeah. Address, so in the evening, it's addressed to you, but you have to put your at night time, so you have to put your fingerprint. Crime, wild dog's fingerprint. Pattern. Bamboo car fingerprint. Right there. Honey. Egg. Tamago. Doubt. Right there. Address. To address someone. Tamago, or eggs. Egg. Row. Doubt. So that's spoon, dart, stamp. Yeah, right there. Zoo. Pattern. Crime. Wild dogs and fingerprints. Address. Egg. Tamago. Address. Egg. Okay, that's next set of 5, last set of 5. We'll be up to 309, so we should be past the 400 kanji mark if we want to get that second lesson done today. Detain, that's the ransom note in the field. Then we're going to have the ransom note exchange or trade. Alright, tomeru, ryusu, and yugaku, ryusu, denwa. Let's see, trade, boeki, bo. Yeah, bo. Detain. And trade. Right there. Exchange, trade exchange. Stapler and stamp, or stamp. Let's kill me. Entertainment. Okay. And that's kind of cool. Like, I'm actually visualizing the one-eyed monk actually holding his staplers in both hands, and then after he wins, he puts them into his tool belt. I mean, I like that visual. I mean, it's really strong now. Anyway, stamp, stapler. You'll find out, like I said, I mean, when you get comfortable with these primitives, and like creating stories with the primitives is not as difficult. Once you kind of see how they can all bend together, something really comes to you. Hopefully, something comes to your mind very, very fast. Okay, so this is acid. So acid stored in the bottles, and it's to protect the prostitutes from the Johns. Okay, prostitutes, licensed walkers. Licensed walkers. Alright, sanso, oxygen. Rusu. I was thinking of Rusu here, which is like Rusu denwa, like answering machine. And then we have Ryugaku, which is going to be people who are going abroad, like exchange students. Okay, but anyway, so this is detain. Acid. Stamp. Stapler and stamp. Detain. Detain field. Receipt and a dagger. That's a trade. That's acid. Bitterness, sour or tart. Trade. Or exchange. Kill me. Entertain, revive. Interest or pleasure. Entertain. Stamp. Shirushi. Right there. Shirushi. Entertain. Detain. Ryugaku. Boek. That's trade. Acid. That's sanso there is oxygen. That's kind of cool. Yep, right there. So again, whiskey, licensed, walking legs. Or elbow and legs. Licensed, elbow and legs. Licensed to kill. Or you could also, you know what, acid is a liquor, but in order to buy acid in liquor bottles, maybe you need that license to kill, because again, you might be killing people, so you need to make sure you're approved for that. That could work as well. You can end up Gandalf, because again, he's a magician, so he has all sorts of poisonous compounds on his body. Anyway, so this is entertain. Acid. Some water here. Right there. And detain. And acid. Let's see, so that's the whiskey bottle, license, and the walking legs. Or Gandalf. Stamp. Stapler and stamp. Entertain. It's the dual-wielding, double stapler wielding one-eyed monk in his tool belt. Acid. Whiskey bottle, license, and Gandalf. Trade. Boeki. That's the ransom note and the money to trade. Entertain. Again. Kiyomi. Stamp. Shirushi. Okay, that's everything. Cool. Okay, let's go to levels. And here. Alright, let me see what's happening with groups real quick, and I'll check also about because I've seen people got up to about 6 people were watching in the stream, at one time, and then they've been coming back and forth. So if you are joining and if you're new, you can say hello, if you could, in the chat, and I'll say hi back. Alright, so it's nothing to review now. Let me just do a couple of refresh on here, see if anything new, see if somebody else who downvoted my post, not that it matters. Let's see, what's so great about Pro, performance monitoring, I don't think, what else do we have? Okay, somebody liked that, that's good. Let's see what we got. Resources to see native Japanese handwriting, yeah, okay. Using music to learn, can be. I hate Anki SRS with method. I like this, they say like, there's like, I hate this really great thing that makes things so much easier. What do I gotta do? Well, do it the hard way. Do what everybody else did, which is either flashcards itself, or just write the words out, or just memorize it yourself. I don't know. I mean, sometimes you can get to you that you still see people who haven't even bothered to learn a language yet, but they want to come at you as if they've got the entire steps planned out. They don't know how to do it yet, but they're going to tell you how they want to do it. They don't know what to do. They just know how they don't want to do it. It's like it's reviewed spaced repetition or retiring. I don't do it in my hobbies every day. Yeah, and then that's just it. You mean, well, great, you're just gonna forget it. I mean, unless you got a perfect memory, learn some memorization techniques, and you'll be fine then. There are some ways to do that. Let's see what's the story here. Can't watch a video to see how others approach your studies. Okay, that's nice view. And let's see, anything here. Do you follow the following sentences have meanings? How does the knee work? What is memorization of kan? Hiragana, katakana. Okay, cool. Huh. Okay. Not quite quite sure what's going on there. Like I said, I got to delete it anyway later on, so that's live. All right, let's see what we got here. Yep, nothing new. Cool. Some people were talking. Not seeing anything there. Okay, and yep, that's still what it's doing. All right, fine. That's all right. So what I'm gonna do? Gonna go on a break, 4-minute break or so. I'm gonna play this a little bit what's left of the Zettai Kareshi. Come here. Come on.
この産業中央銀行で働くことは私の夢でした。
And continue. All right, so this should be close to the last bit. All right, so I'll be back in about 4 minutes or so. Gonna refresh my coffee and my water. Oh, and then we're gonna finish up. We're gonna do one more lesson after this.
手作りシュークリームですか？はあ、見てよこれ。派遣の伊沢からもらったんだけどさ。
へえ、あの伊沢が。でも結構うまそうじゃないですか。
手作りなんか怖くて食えねえよ。お前いる？
いや、俺はいいっすよ。
いいよ。
いや、だって石関さんもらったんじゃないですか。
俺昔からこういうやつね、ほんとダメなんだよ。食えねえの。
いや、ほんといいですって。
もったいないだろ。
いやいやいや、持って帰ってくださいって。
いいよ、ほんとに。
たった4日でこんな修理すると思わなかったぞ。
伊沢ってさ、
はい、
気持ち悪いんだよ。なんか眼差しが重いっていうかさ。
I'm not blessed. Oh man, I'm sorry guys. I had this way too loud. Sorry about that. Volume was too loud.
あ、そう。あとつけてたんだ。
違います。私はただ
めんどくさ。はっきり言うけどさ、お前重いんだ。勘弁してよ、こんなところで。俺が悪いみたいじゃん。あんな野郎。リコ。
お前リーコに何をした？
は？なんだ？
リーコに謝れ。
なんで俺がこんなめんどくせえ女に謝らなきゃいけねえんだよ。意味わかんない。
リーコを傷つけるやつは俺が許さない。行こう。
何も殴らなくてもいいのに。
出力 20% でやったから大丈夫。
バカみたい。一生懸命になっちゃって。
だって俺リーコが好きだから。
本当にバカみたい私。いつもこうなんだよね。高校の時に付き合ってた人も短大の時の人も私のこと重いって学習能力ないな私。
リーコは一途で
リーコは一途で一生懸命なんだよ。一生懸命なんだよ。Alright, let's put that up. So yeah, if you don't know, like, those are like dramas which I've already been studying, and then soon I'll be doing drama number 3, which is going to be episode 3 for Zetai Kadeshi, and then later on it'll be episode 4. Then after that I'll move on to different dramas. That's the plan anyway. Again, catch up with these basics, and then basics and intermediate's still going to be important, but you know, again, you got to put a lot more dramas in it. So hopefully I cover, like right now in the basics I just cover 1 drama. In the intermediate, like the first half of the intermediate, I plan on covering 2 dramas, 4 episodes each, and then upper half or intermediate part 2 is going to be covering 3 dramas, 4 episodes each. That's the plan anyway. Let's see, we're at 2 hours 24 minutes. Yeah, all the reviews are caught up. And again, that was fun. That's just it. You know, catch up on your reviews. When your reviews are done, good. Start learning new stuff. Don't fall in the mistake. I think a lot of people, when they first start Anki or whatnot, they start putting too much into Anki, and they make things more difficult. And so now they're reviewing a lot of stuff. Like I think one guy I'm kind of worried that he's making maybe too many cards. I'm not sure. Yeah, and again, it's spread out, so it's like fun. So right now, again, I've had I think a fairly balanced, you know, hiragana, katakana, kanji, grammar, vocabulary, and what I was doing mixing in these 2. But for you, you don't have to do this mixing like I was doing. Instead, wait to hold this off till the end. I might even change this to being SGJL 13, 14, 15, and 16. I'll probably do that later. Just so it's obvious that, yeah, save these to the end. But do all these, but then again, do a mix and match of this with the drama before you start moving on to the intermediate section. Basically, start getting into the habit of putting your Japanese to use. And the dictionaries is because, again, that's going to be a really difficult thing. It's going to feel like some of it is you're learning the same stuff over again, but it's going to be a lot more detailed, much better example sentences. And you'll start learning a lot more Japanese names as well. Okay, yeah, it looks like we're good to go. Let's do this. It's going to take another 30-40 minutes. So I'm going to be going over the 30-minute mark, the 3-hour mark, I know, but that's fine. So it's 2 hours 26 minutes. Wrong pen. Might as well throw that pen away. 2 hours 26 minutes. 2 hours 26 minutes. 26 minutes and 50. We'll say 55 seconds. It's a little there. Okay, that's all good. Gotta start actually making those adding that as well. Alright, so here we go. And welcome. This is Nuke Marine, and presenting the Suggested Guide for Japanese Literacy, the course series placed on Memorize to help take people from complete beginner up to intermediates or beyond in the Japanese language, both for literacy and listening, reading literacy and listening fluency. Currently, this is on course number 8, Remembering the Kanji Optimized, Part 2, which presents the second set of 555 kanji, this time from Book 2 of 2001 Kanji Odyssey, and present those kanji in Remembering the Kanji order for efficient learning and memorization. This course currently we are at is lesson 64. So after this we'll have 10 more lessons to go before this course is finished. If you enjoy this video, remember to like the video. I know it's not too many likes right now this early on, but maybe in the months or years to come, as more people watch this video series, that'll help build up and get attention to the video. Likewise, if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel. Again, seems like or at least I do live streaming every day currently. Finally, if you found that this has been useful for you learning Japanese, consider sharing it on multimedia. Facebook, Reddit, Tumblr, wherever. The lesson right now that we're covering looks like we're going to be covering plate. Let's see, and it looks like that's going to cover about 5 of them. Then we're going to get into gold or silver. Let's see, we do silver for 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to get into, looks like even, or in that case, lily pad or something like that. And then, oh, good, we're going to get into Wolverine with hope. All right, good. So this should be a fun little level. It should take about anywhere from 30-40 minutes if all goes well. and we can begin. Preview. Okay, so we are on dish. I think that was the first one. Let me make sure, just verify. Okay, yes, it is dish. Good. Alright, so what you're going to find is this the Heise keyword, and the Heise keyword is kind of related to the meaning, the Japanese attached to the meaning of this kanji. It may not be the only one. We'll also have some other words to introduce to you that also contain the meaning, that may refer to this meaning of this kanji. In addition to, I'm going to be showing you Japanese vocabulary words. Don't worry about memorizing these vocabulary words just yet. That's going to be happening in a different course with that's designed toward you learning vocabulary. And it's going to have actually more common vocabulary words as opposed to these, which might include rare or almost never used or archaic words. Alright, with that said, we can begin. So this is dish. So this is going to be, it looks pretty simple. That almost looks like a drying rack for a dish. Like if you wash your dishes, you'd stick it into this drying rack. So you know, yeah. So this could be looks like 3 dishes in a drying rack. But yeah, so this is dish. Could be also be a helping of food, or a plate. So in this case, sara, really a plate or a dish or a platter, serving course. Let's see, Kanji Radical 108. Okay, whatever. Course. And it could also be haizara, which is going to be ashtray, but that's some type of layer. So sara. So we have 3 dishes stacked side by side in a dishwasher. Let's see what Heisig has to say on the matter. So we're doing dish here. Okay, so we got drum. We did drum, the full kanji for drum. Rejoice, we already covered. Timber trees. Now we have his dish. Now this is a pictographic. It just looks, what he's saying, it looks like a painted bowl from the side. If you want to look at it like that, or a little drying rack for dishes. Alright, so here's a stroke order, just to be for completion's sake. So kind of like you're doing for, first 2 strokes for mouth or comb. Kind of like you're doing with comb. Okay, then long stroke at the bottom, and that'll be dish. Alright, and this is dish. Sara. Dish. Sara. Next kanji. Now we're going to do his blood. So again, it's dish with a little drop in it, so a drop of blood on the dish. Very simple. This is blood. Could just regular old. And here we have his chi. Blood, consanguinity. I'm not sure about that. What that word means. Consanguinity. Ketseki. Blood. Another form for blood. Blood and fluid. Another word for blood. Keto. 3rd word. Blood sugar. So it looks like blood and, literally, blood and sugar. Senketsu. Ketsu. Senketsu. Stink of blood or meat. Meat-eating barbarian. Wow, okay. Also the 4th word, senketsu. Fresh blood. That's kind of graphic. Okay, good. Here they have vampire orders blood in one of those posh restaurants. Imagine his shock when he gets his giant white bowl with just a single drop of blood in the center, drizzling in the bowl's white. Okay. Disgusting. He calls the manager over, telling him overpriced tosh, bites in the neck, or huge gush of blood spraying. Okay, whatever. Anyway, just a drop of blood on a plate. Just keep it simple. Here we go. Drop in the dish is blood, similar to drop. Dagger, sure. Yeah. Blood. Keep it simple. There's a drop. There's a drop. Let's do a plate. Boom, boom. Let's do drop. Boom, boom. Drop. Plate. Boom, boom, boom. Blood. Blood. Okay. Chi. Chi. Next kanji. Alliance. So we have bright and plate. Alliance. Our sun and moon. Alliance or an oath. Here we have is kame. Participation. Affiliation. Okay. Dome. Alliance or a union. League. Denmei. Federation, a union or a league. Okay. So alliance. So sun, moon, and plate. I just think of the symbol of the alliances that they're going to be together all the days and all the months, until so put a sun and a moon together on a plate to show a symbol of their alliance. The new alliance is proclaimed at the end of the meal between officials as symbols of their alliance. They clean up one dish and present it to the photographs. The dish is under the flashlights bright. That pretty much tells you new alliance, one bright dish. I don't know. I was thinking like symbol of the new alliance is the a sun and the moon together on the crest of the plate, showing the new alliance's visual. Blood. Here we have his basin, alliance, bright and dish. So if you want bright dish, that works as well. But okay, I was thinking again. So you think of the alliance. Think of the new symbol of alliance is the sun, the moon, showing all the days and the months in which they will be together. Maybe in the brightness it's going to involve, the bright future ahead of the alliance, and put the symbol of their alliance on the plates everywhere. Okay, so this is alliance. So we got plate, blood, alliance. Next kanji. Okay, again now we have his steel. We already learned figure was like the next woman. We learned column is next at money. Now we have next plate, steal. Rob, pilfer. Now this is steal as in without violence. So this is pilfering means you're not robbing someone at gunpoint. They're not aware that you just took stuff that belonged to them. Here we have is nusumu, nusunderu. Okay. In other words, it means tonan, theft or robbery. Toyo. The fifth word there, embezzlement, fraudulent use, plagiarism. So steal, use. Okay. Go to, robber, a mugger, burglary. Okay, so a strong stealing. So I guess it's burglary. You are so poor you don't know where your next dish will come from. All you know is that will have to steal it. So, or you can say like stealing. Usually, when you steal food, you look over at the plate next to you. This plate right next to you. Next, and then steal the food from that plate. Let's see what Heisig says. Alliance, steal, next, dish. Okay, so make sure it's steal. So you want to do next, so it's ice. Remember, you want to get ice next door. So you go next door. Maybe there's no ice, but there is ice on the neighbor's plate. So maybe you steal that instead. Next plate. Or steal food off the next person's dish. Or maybe their ice, there's Stitch. So it's easy to think of Stitch. He was actually stealing stuff off of Lilo's plate. You can say so. He, so ice, Stitch from Lilo, Stitch, and plate. So steal. All right. So we got plate, blood, bright or alliance, and steal. Next kanji. Oversee. So we're going to have slave lay down in one, but oversee. Official, a government rule, an administrator, someone who oversees something. Oversees. Some words that use this. Kanji, observation, guarding, inspection, surveillance. Kantoku, supervision, control, direction or director. Okay, so again, oversee is there. Sokan. Looks like second word from the bottom. Inspector General or Commissioner. So General and Oversee. General Oversee, Inspector General. The slave trader oversees the slaves washing dishes in the kitchen. No reclining on the floor. That's okay. So you got recline and floor. Oversees the people who are lying on the bed. Also those overseas are lying. Then the one person is watching the dishes. Overseer. Let's see what Heisig says. So we got steal, we got warm, then we got oversee. So we got slave. So you can think of, if you want to, slave Leia. So you can think of that. You can also kind of like princess. You're going to find a princess. So maybe a slave Leia can do a slave. The Mr. Slave would be slave and crotch. However you want to do it. In fact, let me just show you real quick. I know we're still on plate, but okay. So like I was saying, so we already seen this as kind of like slave right there. So there we can think of slave Leia from the Empire, from the Return of the Jedi. And if we see slave and crotch, for sex slave, so you can think of there as like Mr. Slave from South Park, if you've ever seen that cartoon series, or some type of sexual slave. But use something humorous that you can visually see, keep them separate. So usually Leia in the slave outfit is kind of a visual that's in the culture, in popular culture. Okay, so how we have is oversee. Slave, reclining, one floor, one dish. Okay, so oversee. Okay, so then oversee. He has to oversee the slaves. Okay. All right, so he oversees the slave. Maybe there's overseeing Leia, so maybe it's Jabba the Hutt is overseeing, or whoever overseeing Leia right now. And he noticed that she's just laying on the floor, maybe in front of Jabba, not doing laying on the floor. Maybe reclining on the floor. All right, and maybe they get so upset that she's not doing anything as a slave, they put her to work washing the dishes. You know, after that little weird party they had. So they're overseer. And you can be that Gamorrean guard or whoever you want to for doing that. So if you want to use that. So yeah, lay down on the floor. The slave was laying down on the floor, so the overseer made him get up and wash the dishes. You know, to do something. Oversee. Now we have a salt. This is the table salt. You know, shio right there, salt. Shio kasho, salt and pepper, but shio. Enbun. Salt or salt content. Ensan. Ensan. Hydrochloric acid. Nasty. Wow. Shokuen. Table salt, so eating salt. Shokuen. Salt. In the old days, salt was worth a lot. So it's not surprising if someone reclining on the ground, someone on the ground reclining, mouth to the plate, getting every last grain of the delicious salt. What I also said was in my story when I first learned this was salt of the earth. Hell no, he just reclines all day, putting it with his mouth, stuffing his mouth for food from this plate. You know, so salt of the earth he's not. So salt, you gotta hear salt, I think salt of the earth, and then someone's lying down just putting food in their mouth. They're not really that good of a person. It's up to you. So yeah, salt is so important. They even go to the ground, lay down with the mouth like it's kind of like a. You draw salt from the salt mines from the ground, and it's really important even when you lie down to recline and get for food or something, for food in the mouth. Sure, let's see what Isaac says. So we got warm, oversee, overflow, specimen, fierce, boom, and it's like actually economic boom, salt, ground, reclining, mouth, dirt. Okay, let's do this. Okay, I kind of like the salt of the earth story myself. So I was saying salt of the earth, he is not. He just reclines all day, putting food in his mouth, maybe salty food in his mouth from his plate. He didn't probably even make the plate. But anyway, so that's salt. Growth, recline, earth. Okay, so we got, we'll ignore that, but we got oversee, we got salt. Next kanji. Alright, now we're into let's go and bring this up. We're into silver. So, just to make sure for silver, it is, I'm sorry, wait, do this backwards. Oh, sorry. Come back here. So remember, silver. Silver. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, anyway, that's silver. We'll be covering with that. But anyway, okay, so here we have his root. Like tree root, it could be. It could also be radical. Let's see what it has. Root of a plant, root of a tooth, center of a pimple. Ooh, nasty. Origin, cause, basis of something. Let's see. So that's ne. So let's see. Yeah, that's the word for root. Now we have his konkyo. Basis or foundation. Root of and foothold. Root and foothold. Okay. Konki. Root and spirit, patience, perseverance, persistence. Okay, you're rooted. Hei ho kon, the square root of something. So even direction root, square root, even direction root, square root. Hei ho kon. Okay. Now here's a good story. Since trees eat through their roots, one could imagine roots as tree silverware. Roots are the tree's silverware to get nourishment from the ground. Okay, that makes sense. Tree silverware, silver. Tree and silver. Let's see what Isaac says. So we got salt. Here we have his silver, like I mentioned. Boom, boom, boom. Kind of like you're doing flag with 2 strokes. Don't forget it could be abbreviated. Maybe a silver spoon. Here's silver, resentment. Here's root, tree, and silver. Let's do that. All right. Tree and silver. In fact, let's do that. All right, so we're going to do silver. We're going to do this again real quick. Okay, and then also as if it's going to be up here, like if it's a, we're gonna do it like that. And then kind of like, well, it wouldn't look that bad, but might look like this, something like this. Okay, now we might call that like a silver drop or a silver coin or something. Who knows? We might even call it a silver spoon. Who knows? Silverware. So we want roots. So we want roots is like the silverware tree. So think a tree, trim tree here, and then the roots are its silverware. Silver. Boom, 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 boom. And remember, it's the not a abbreviated silver. All right, so it's roots. Ne, like the Hakone, that would be, yeah, this ne. It's used in a lot, you'll see this in a lot of names for cities and even some whatnot. So we have instant, so we got silver, silver coin, and stamp. Instant. That could be namely, as is, conform, agree, adapt. Let's see what we have here. That is to say, instantly, immediately. Soku, soku, immediately at once. Let's see what we have is Soko, compliance, conformance, adaption. Okay, Soko. Sokuseki, sokuseki, instant. Instant and seat, instant. Sokyo, sokyo, improvisation. So instant entertainment. Oh, improv, that makes sense. Off the cuff. Sokyo. I like that. Let's see, he scratches off the silver stamp and maybe he scratches off the, let's see, his stamp, maybe it's a lottery stamp. He scratches off with a silver coin, discovers he's an instant winner. Instant winner of 1 coin and stamp. I don't know. What one story I heard is like, hey, if you want to deliver your mail instantly, instead of a stamp, use silver instead of a stamp, and then that mail will get delivered instantly. Another way of looking at it. Let's see what Heisig says. Resentment, root. Here we have instant, silver, and stamp. All right, and since it's in the radical portion of it, so remember it's going to be a abbreviated or a silver coin if you want to. Silver. Now remember instant, it's instant, so we're using a silver coin instead of a stamp. So now it's going to be deliver that instantly, instant. Well, we have Baron, Node. Wait, what am I doing? Let's go to next kanji. All right, next up we have is retreat, withdraw, retire, resign, repel, expel, reject. All right, retreat, go back in some. Let's see what we have here. Let's see. Shirizokeru. Shirizoku. I don't know those words. Let's see. Taikyaku. Retreat. Withdrawal. Retirement. So retreat and gone. Taikyaku. Taikutsu. Second word. Tedium or boredom. Shintai. Not seeing the word. Okay, I don't see that kanji there, so I'm not going to use it. This is also like a taishoku, taishuku, I think. Taishuku. I think it's like taishuku or something, like a retirement. Okay. But anyway, in the land of Oz, you advance following the golden road. Okay, follow the yellow brick road. But you retreat following the silver road. Retreat on the silver road. Okay, so gold is forward, retreat back. Advance back. Technically, you advance on the Turkey Road and you retreat. In Kanji land, you advance on the Turkey Road and you retreat on the Silver Road. Let's see what Heisig says. Baron, Node, here's retreat, road and silver. Okay. Or maybe it's like you find out you're trying to go along the road, you don't have enough silver to pay the fee, the fare or toll. The road toll, so you have to retreat. That's another way if you don't have enough silver to pay for on the road. So you got silver. Let's do it, and it's going to be full silver, but we'll do that right there. Silver. Okay, and then we're going to do that for a retreat. Oh, sorry. God, I did that backwards. Okay, kind of like you're doing flag. Then we do the road. Okay. Anyway, that's retreat. Here's the stroke order. Just for S&Gs. Let's see. Yep, there we go. So 1, 2, 3. Boom, 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 boom. Done. 6, 7, 8, 9. Next kanji. So Tai. Foster. When I first heard this, think of Jodie Foster, because she was an actress who starred in the movie Silence of the Lambs, so that's where this came in, Silence of the Sheep and Lambs. It's up to you, but this is foster, to bring up, to rear, develop. So kind of like a iku in this case. Let's see, yashinao. Yeah, it's not showing that. Yashinao. Some words they also use it. So instead of nurture, yoiku, bringing up, rearing or upbringing. So literally, it's foster and upbring, and bring up, foster and bring up. Yoshi. Third word, adopted child. Okay, so foster and literally foster child. There we go. Kyuyo. Rest, break or recreation. So yeah, rest and foster. Kyuyo. Okay, so it looks like we got sheep. It looks like eating and dough. A sheep became the foster parent for a wolf pup, feeding it with milk. This story cannot end well. Okay, that's kind of grim. Wolf. Okay. Okay, I think he's using this like the drop angel. I think he's using that for wolf, and he's thinking of something a little different. What's happening here? Okay, nothing new. See what Isaac says. Right there. Okay, so where are we at? We're at retreat, limit, eyeball. And here we have is good. Let's bring this up real quick. Let's just show you real quick. So again, silver, but usually I think of good, I think of or yoi, but we're gonna do drop and then do silver. All right, and I usually think of angels because that's like an angel halo right there. Good. All right, let's keep going with Isaac. So we got good, melodious, wondering, daughter, eat. So eating is okay. So that's when you put the little okay. So there's the umbrella. We already kind of covered eating, but yeah, there's the umbrella. There's the drop, or maybe take off your halo. Maybe we're gonna eat it. Okay, that's really ugly. So let's eat. Okay, so now what we're going to do is foster. We're going to go with that. So it's going to be sheep and eat. Foster. Eat, meal, drink, hungry, starve, decorate, building. Here we have as foster. Sheep and food. The key word here is the sense of promoting the development of something, especially in psychological or spiritual sense. Okay, so in this case, think of foster. You want a foster child. All right, so if you're going to foster a child, you need to give them a pet. So you're going to give them a pet sheep so they're happy. And also when you have a foster child, you got to make sure that you got them housed, or so you put an umbrella over their head, and also food. So you want to make sure they're good, so you can do good, and you also have silverware to eat. So you can do all sorts of things in the story here. So when you think about fostering a child, okay, you want to give them like a sheep, which can represent a pet. All right, you can think of that as a pet, or also be the wool or clothing. So I think of fostering, you need the clothing. You need to give them shelter. So think of the umbrella as being the shelter. All right, you need to make sure maybe moral. So you make sure that they're good. So you got the shelter. And you want to be the good. So you can also do that part as well. And we can also do I'll tell you what, let's do this in parts. So you can do the little drop there, and finally foster. So we got the sheep, the shelter, got the little drop of the halo for being goodness or morals, and also you need the silver for kind of representing eating, the full thing for eating. So that's foster. Sheep and eat, if you need to, but yeah, foster. Literally, sheep and food, or sheep and eat. Sheep and food. Yeah. We got Akagami saying hello, Nuke. Hi, how you doing? Let's keep going. That's foster. Now we have previously. We're going to learn this part there. Waiter. Huh, interesting. So this is previously, already, or long ago. Previously on The Apprentice, or whatever. Previously. Some time ago. Gi. Okay. Sudeni. I don't know that word. Sude. No word there. Alright. So here we have is kisei. Third word. Established, completed, or existing. Fourth word, ready-made, off the shelf. Kikon, marriage or married. And yep, just teaching. Akagami asked, "How am I doing? How's he doing? How am I doing?" He's learning, and yeah, just teaching a kanji course real quick. Kyosho, established anamnesis and medical history. Also, Kyo, the past. Interesting. So long ago, previously or the past, long ago. So previously, I would tip some silver to the waiter, but now I moved to Japan. I don't tip silver to the waiters here. So previously, so silver and waiter. Silver or waitress, waiter or waitress. Previously, silver or waitress. Let's go with Isaac. See what he's saying on this matter. Foster. Here we have a sated. Okay, so here is waitress. So it looks like. Is that really supposed to be 2 strokes? Let's find out. It's right there. 6, 7. Okay, yeah, it is separate. And then we're going to have a drag and then a trailing leg. Alright. We'll depend upon what Isaac is saying, but we're going to do this in that many strokes. We're not. Okay, so let's see. It's kind of like drawing receipt. There's a trailing leg. It's kind of like the club foot. Somebody's a club foot waitress. Okay, let's see what we got. Alright. Let's, yeah. Okay, I'll tell you what. So let's do a waitress. So we're going to do club. Let's see. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So that looks familiar, kind of like, you know, we've done this before for glasses. So in this case, maybe it's, she's got broken glasses. So there, because remember we're going to do that like the monocle. So in this case, so she's poor. So there's a little droopy eye. Maybe it could be droopy eye. So this could be an unattractive red droopy eye and a club foot. Club foot. So I guess we did what was that cartoon show? Forgot the title of it. But it was like some type of mystery cartoon show with 2 little twin brother and sister. Okay, anyway, when the waitress had a droopy eye or a lazy eye, maybe a club foot there. So this can be waitress, or waiter or waitress. Club foot waiter, club foot waitress. Alright, now we want to do is, what was that kanji? Previously. Don't confuse it with before. Okay, so previously. Silver and waitress. Okay, so I was saying previously I would tip silver to waiters and waitresses. So silver. So I want to do silver. Okay. Alright, previously I would tip silver to the waitress. But in Japan, in other countries, you don't tip. So I think of the droopy eye, you don't, or maybe previously I would tip the droopy-eyed waitress with the waiter with the, there's the droopy-eyed waitress. Okay, sorry, do it the right way. There's the droopy eye. Oh, did that backward. Alright, so we're going to do the, kind of like there's the droopy eye wearing the monocle and then the club foot. Okay, so this is previously. Silver and waitress. If there's a better story, you know, I'd love to hear it. I really would. Okay, so that's previously. Next, kanji. Now we have his outline. Okay, so tree, silver, kind of like roots, but this is a little bit different. And previously, not necessarily roots. A little bit different than outline. So it's an outline, a condition, approximation, general. So yeah, like an outline of a paper, not necessarily a body outline. Well, let's see what words it uses. Gainen. General idea, concept, the notion. So just give me a gist of it or something. Taigai. In general, almost, mostly, most likely, probably. Gaishite. Generally, as a rule. So just give me an outline. So in this case, so think of an outline of a body, but it could also be an outline of a paper, but that type of outline. But for the visual, we'll say outline of a body. Murder's been committed. Corpse was found by under a tree. Good. The police chalked the outline of the victim. Boom. And it was a silver-haired waitress. Silver-haired waitress. Okay. That previously looked good. I don't know. So previously. Silver-haired waitress. So you can say the victim was previously the silver-haired waitress at the restaurant nearby. Previously. Okay, tree, silver, waitress. Outline. See what Isaac says. Previously. Silver outline. Roots and waitress. Note the kanji meanings through primitives is not used here. Beforehand. Yeah, preempt any confusion. Okay, whatever. Okay, so we want to do outline. Give me an outline of this. Okay, so the outline of the body found by the tree. Okay, corpse found by the tree. All right, and it was the body of the. It was previously, so it was silver-haired waitress. Silver. Okay, so tree. Silver-haired, and then we want to do waitress. We'll do waitress in 2 parts. Okay, so tree. Silver hair. Then waitress. Alright. And if you want to use roots, if you want to use roots, you can, tree and silver, and use that as the idea of maybe she was strangled by the tree's roots, you know, so as the murderer of the tree, or someone who used the tree as a murder weapon, you know, maybe it was a possessed tree. Outline. Next kanji, call. So this is, don't confuse with call on. There's call on and then there's call. In fact, let me see. Let's just do that. We'll just do it right now. Call. Come on. Call. Okay, so we got call, call on. Copy. Not. Okay. Okay. That way they don't confuse the two. Call and call on. Okay, so it's yobu. Let's see what we have. Call, call out, or invite. Yobu, yonderu. Let's see. What else do we have? Kokyu. Breath, respiration. Knack or a tick. A secret. Okay. Ko. Hailing each other, acting in concert, agreement. Okay. Tenko. The third word, tenko. The roll call, the muster. Okay, fair enough. Tenko. What am I watching? A few kids talking to each other on TV. Okay, so here we have here's the story. I'm a lazy fisher. I'm genetically engineered a lily pad with a fishing hook at the stem and a mouth to call me whenever it catches on to something. Lily pad. Let's see what Isaac says on the matter. So we got outline, rue. Okay, so here we have is even. It could be a water lily. Now this is a little bit differently. The stem here. So that looks like 1,000, almost like you're doing 1,000 with the hook. And this could be a little bit different. This could be a sinking lily pad. Well, let's call it a sinking lily pad. Maybe the okay, yeah, sinking lily pad. I guess that could work. And the barb at the end. So maybe, yeah, okay, we'll try that. It's a sinking lily pad because, all right, so you hear a frog calling on you, help, help. So call. So you got with his mouth. So you got the mouth there. All right. Why is he calling on you? Because it looks like he's in a sinking lily pad. So we'll do the sinking right there for the little drop showing the sinking lily pad. Remember, it's a lily pad because it's kind of like even right there. And why is it sinking? Because you found out that the sinking lily pad had a we'll also do right there. So that means it is even. And finally, it's kind of sinking lily pad is because his fisherman had put a hook through it when he was fishing, and then now this lily pad is sinking in the water. So frog is calling out for help, like, don't let me sink. Okay, so this is call, not call on, call. Next kanji. And we got, I think, one more after this. Evaluate. So here we have is the microphone and even evaluate. So this is evaluate, criticism, comment. There's a few of those. In this case, yo, criticism, commentary, or counsel. Yo. Yoka, what you're going to hear it. This is evaluation, evaluation, estimate, an assessment. To value or to assess. Yoban. Fame, reputation, or popularity. Okay. Then finally we have is Teiyo. Established opinion and established reputation. Okay. Acknowledged authority. Teiyo. Yoka is what I remember it for. Good evaluation should always be the words of even fairness. So yeah, so think of evaluate. You want to evaluate the words evenly. So maybe it's like you want to have them just type it out. So you don't judge them based on how they're talking. You don't want to based on their accent. So you just want to, maybe that's how you can evaluate people. Or we hear that if you want to evaluate musicians, they want to make sure that the musician is heard behind a curtain. You don't see the musician, you only hear them play. And the idea is you evaluate them based on the music they generate, not how they look when they're generating that music. Because the idea is like they didn't want to evaluate men more. They would evaluate men with higher marks than a woman who would probably give the exact same performance. Evaluation. So evaluate. So yeah, microphone and even. So maybe to evaluate the person, have the person and evaluate the people speaking in a microphone evenly, they put them, talk to them through a microphone behind a curtain, so you can judge all the applicants evenly. You know, maybe it's that way. Okay. Anyway, I have a 2-mat area, so I guess that's the Tommy. Evaluate words in water lily. All right, let's do this. We're going to get into. All right, so evaluate. So you would think evaluate how that people were talking in a microphone, and you want to do it evenly. So maybe you. That's really ugly. So you want to do 1, 2. Evaluate right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and finally one more. Evenly. Words. Evaluate the words evenly. For evaluation, you want to make sure no hook. No hook. Sorry, that's straight down. Straight down. That's the lily pad is the thing with the hook. That's call on. This lily pad evenly. Okay. Last kanji for today. We're already past the 3-hour mark 6 minutes ago. This is hope. We're going to get back, now we're back to Wolverine. Okay, cool, and he's worried about, he's hoping he didn't slash up all his linen. Okay, so this is hope, to beg, request, pray, beseech. Greece. The thing I remember is kibo, so let's see, mare, rare, yeah, that's not. Anyway, so here's the biggest one, kibo. Hope, wish, aspiration. Which is actually hope and ambition. Hope and ambition. Kisho. Okay, it's the second word from the bottom. Kisho. Scarce or rare. Hope and few. Scarce and rare. Kihaku. Thin. Rarefied, diluted. Hope and dilute. Interesting. Okay, so Wolverine, so this is the X-Man. The X-Man Wolverine, boom, has the hope that one day they will come up with linen that he won't shred when he lies down on top of him, you know, because he's got the little claws. Okay, so let's see what Heisig says. Here's sheaf, bundle. Now, it's saying there is bundles stacked together. I'm just going to do, but again, this is, all right, very simple. It's me, so downward stroke, and here. So this is the me, katakana for me. But when you see it in other kanji, this is X-Man, the X-Man Wolverine. X-Man Wolverine. So now what I want to do is hope. Okay, so we want to do here, we're going to keep going. So that's reap. So here we have his hope. Sheaf and linen, or X-Man and linen. Or it could be X-Man by one side, towel. So maybe it could also be, if you want to see, it's the hope of every woman watching the Wolverine or the X-Men movies that you'll have the Hugh Jackman walking as Wolverine, walking down with just his towel by his side, like not covered up with a towel, so you get to see him naked or something. If you want to do that way as hope as well. But let's do hope. So we're going to do X-Man. So it's going to be up at the top. There's X-Man. All right, and we want to do hope. So we want to do by one side. Now remember, it's downward stroke is first. I feel like I'm screwing this up. Anyway, so here it is. Yeah, so it's up near the top, and then okay. Yeah, let me. All right, so yeah, so. Down one side, so let's see, boom, boom, down one side. Okay, all right. 1, 2, down, across. 1. There's X-Men. Here's by one side. Now we want to do his towel. We'll do it one more stroke. So. Almost like we're repeating the stroke twice, you know, if you can see that. But anyway, so this is a hope. It's a very ugly hope. I know I can draw that better. Why am I messing this up? Why I feel like I'm messing this up? Oh, okay, that's why. I feel like I'm messing this up. Yeah, it should be like a little bit. Okay, that's why I'm going 2 across them. It's supposed to be more downward stroking. That's why. Okay. Kind of like down. So okay, kind of more of an X. Then make the by one side, then the towel linen. So that's a X. So it's Wolverine, X-Men, Wolverine's hope that he's not going to slash up the linens when he's having a bad dream. And it's probably the people who are in charge of the schoolhouse that he doesn't do that either, because they got to replace his sheets every day. Okay, hope. Yeah. Besiege Greece. Kibo. Alright, let's go with that. Okay, so that is it. Tell you what, I'm going to spend the next 10 minutes, so let me go and do the learning real quick. So I'll be at 3 hours, 20 minutes. That'll be the end of the, pretty much be the end of the stream. Let's see, we go to levels. Right now, let's see. We go there. Let's learn these words. Let me put this out of the way. Bring this more closer to me. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Okay, so that's dish, sara. That's blood, chi. Ketsu. Dish, sara. Sara. Blood, chi. Ketseki. Yeah, blood. Ketsu. Alliance. Okay, and that's May, right? Yeah, May. It's also because of brightness. And that's Nusumu, but to for second. To. Nusumu. That's dish, or a plate. Alliance, bright oath. Bright plate, or sun, moon plate. Dish, just plate. That's blood, drop of blood on the plate. Steal, that's the next plate, steal food off the next plate. Nusumu. Okay, that's overseas, that's slave. Slave was laying down, nobody was working, made him work. Okay, laying down on the floor, made him wash the plates. Okay, good. Oversee, right there. Blood, drop of blood on the plate. Steal, Nusumu. Sera, plate, dish. Yeah. Brightness, alliance. That's oversee, right there. Dish, hey. Steal, next plate, steal food off the next plate. Alliance, that's sun and the moon plate. Oversee, sure. Dish. Alliance. Oversee. Blood. That's steel. Alliance. Steel. Alliance. Oversee. Steel. Nusumu. Blood. Drop of blood on the plate. Oversee. These aren't too bad. Yeah, these aren't too bad at all. Maybe the coffee's kicking in. Maybe that's why I'm feeling better. Good. Done. Awesome. Let's keep going. Levels. Alright, we can continue learning. Let's see, where are we at? We are at 3/4 of the way done, or something like that. Salt. Salt of the earth. Or shio. Yeah, that's shio. And this is ne. I was thinking of that because Hakone or Negishi, or cities that I've visited or lived in that had that as a kanji for their name. Konyak, is it Konyaku? Yeah, I think Konyaku's as well. It's Kon of Konyaku, I think. Salt. Yeah. Root. Right there. That's the tree silverware. Roots are the tree silverware for trees. Instantly. Pay with silver. You can deliver your, instead of a stamp. Pay your stamp with silver, so you get it delivered instantly. Yeah. Retreat. Let's see what it's supposed to be. Tai. Taishoku. Taishoku. What? Shokudo. Shuku. Sorry, I'm thinking about something. Tai. Retreat. Salt. Yeah, salt. Instant. Silver and stamps. Retreat. Retreat on the silver road. Silver brick road. Stamp. That's instantly. Instant. Namely, conform, agree, or adapt. Fosters, raise up, bring up. Yeah. Foster. Let's see. There we got the sheep. The sheep and eating, or basically providing wool or clothing and food. Foster someone, clothing and food. Salt. Retreat. Instant. That's silver and stamp. There we are. Foster. We got stamp. Instant, namely conform as. Instant. God damn it. Instant. Retreat on the silver road. Silver brick road. Withdraw. Retry, resign. Foster. Wool and food. Or sheep and food. Okay. Retreat. I'm getting distracted by a TV show on TV right now. A bunch of kids are on it, and there's no subtitles, so it's hard for me to follow along because I got the audio turned down just a little. But if you're hearing kids' voices from that TV show or movie, it's obviously a movie. Foster. Retreat. Taigaku todoke. Taigaku. Instant. Silver and stamps. Roots. Root. Radical head. Hei ho kon. Foster. Hei hong kon. Square root. Root. I don't like that word. Hei ho kon. Square root. Foster, let's see, sheep and food, Jodie Foster. Retreat, bum-ba-da-bum. Retreat, follow the silver brick road. Salt of the earth he is not. Follow the silver brick road, follow. Silver stamps, delivered instantly. Looks like early 90s. Roots. Salt of the earth. Root. Right there. Root. Okay, that's good. And we got 5 more to go. Or that was everything, right? No, we got 4 more. Yeah, 5 more to go. Okay. Previously on the silver-haired waitress. Previously silver-haired waitress. Previously used to tip the waitress silver, but then she got a droopy eye and a club foot. I didn't tip her anymore. But yeah, the tipping in Japan is very uncommon to tip in Japan. Like if you go to areas or clubs or bars that are located near the American areas, U.S. Things that have foreigners, dedicated more to foreigners, then you might see tipping there, just because foreigners are comfortable with tipping. Even though it makes, if you tip a Japanese person, it makes them uncomfortable because, it's just not their custom or whatnot. Yeah. And so again, it's just it's not rude or not rude or anything. It's just a matter of culture. When in Rome, try to follow that. Outline. Plus, I don't like the whole tipping culture in the U.S. anyway. It's just being abused by a lot of. No, and it's not the waiters or waitresses' fault. It's just the system gets abused by owners. Outline. Okay, that's like a brief. So it's outlined by the tree. Previously, silver-haired waitress. Sudani. Outline. Gainen. I don't know. I don't. Guide. Okay. Outline. Call, not call on, call. Okay. That's yobu, yonderu. Yobu. Sakende. Sakebu. Which is not yell, so it's call. Evaluate, even Stevens. Yoka. Call. Right there. Evaluate. Words that are even. Hope. Hope. This is the keyboard. Call, yobu. Not. You can see this is what happens when you do the not thing. It's like oh, anyway, that's a memorized thing. Hope. You would think if something was listed as kanji, then they'd know to kind of start using maybe things that have similar primitives and try to think of kanjis related to each other that way. Hope. Previously. Precious. Hope. Kibo. Beg. Request. Evaluate. Criticism. Comment. Yo. Previously. Silver-haired waitress. Sudani. This is outline. Could also be condition, approximation, generally. Previously, already, long ago. Outline. It's a tree. Silver-haired waitress. Hope. Kibo. Wolverine. On linen. Kibo. Right there. Evaluate. Words even. Mouth. Sinking lily pad. Call. Mouth in the sinking lily pad. Hope. 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 Previously. Silver-haired waitress. Hope. X-Men. Wolverine is linen. Outline. Condition. Generally. Geiste. Call. Not call on. Call. Jeez. Yo. Evaluation. Evaluate. Yoka. Hope. Okay, are we done yet? You're getting there. Outline. Tree. Silver-haired waitress. Outline of the. Evaluate. Yo. Okay. Previously, silver-haired waitress. Previously on the Pretender. Evaluate. Yoka. outline. Cool. And last one, right? Yep, last one. Call. Mouth and the lily pad. Sinking lily pad. Okay, good. That is everything. Okay, so that's 6,000 plus whatever. Good. All right, let's all right, let me just go to finish up the last bits and call it a day. Let's see. We're gonna go here. Alright, so if you enjoyed the video, there's 3 people watching now. If you haven't already, consider liking it. If you had fun today. Let's see, I did a lot of reviews, roughly about 75 kanji reviews and 40 or so Zettai Kureshi episode 2 reviews. So I was a little over that. And then did 2 lessons, so again 30 kanji today. So we're now up to 65 will be tomorrow. Try to do another couple tomorrow, depending on how the reviews are. I'm basing it all on reviews and what's due, whatnot. If there's a lot of reviews, I'll at least do a lesson a day at the minimum. We're done there. I get to move into grammar, which means I have to start getting prepped for it, which means doing some copy pasting and getting Taikem, the second set of those lessons put into an order of some sort. Let's see. But yeah, let's see. There are, okay, nothing is due for review. Let's do a quick, let's see. Let's just talk about bugs. What we got here. Nothing too. Hopefully somebody goes and helps him out there with his problem of not liking to do an SRS and whatnot. Okay, so let's see what we got. Newest submission. Let's see. We got I hate. Anyone know good Japanese online dictionary? Simple definition. Yeah, they do. Kanji damage. Also, I saw that today. Using music to learn. Resources in native writing. Having trouble understanding the message I got. Looking for a little help. Proper form. Okay, nothing too bad there. It's the difference between manzoku, tasu, and jubun. I guess it's more like filled or satisfied. This is to add or yeah, and then jubun means enough. Kane wa jubun. Desho, deshoka. I mean, this is more of a question, right? Desho. That's like don't you know? Isn't it? Let's see. Sentence wa doku desu ka? Sentence wa doku imasu ka? Sentence wa doku ni ima. What is it? Where is it located? Well, roughly the same meaning. This is nearly doku desu ka though. Doko. I guess that's implied. I guess the imasu or aru is implied. Let's see what else we got. Okay, but anyway. Wow, okay, let me delete this. Since apparently people don't like it. I know, it's just a couple guys downloaded it. That happens. No big deal. Alright, so that's deleted. Good. And actually though, I need to... not him. I'm not replying to myself. Let me go and say, okay, hope it helps. Anyway. Hope it's fun. Hope it's fun. Okay, good. Yeah, that should be it. Let's see, anything on, let's see, is anyone actually chatting in the voice? No, nobody's in the voice. Nobody's in general. They were talking, but they're done. Okay, yeah, that's about it. There's really nothing more to go for it. This stream went a little longer than usual. I know it says 3 hours, it's 3.5 hours, but that was fine. Got to, let's see, Akami says, nice daily stream, thumbs up. Alright, thank you. And also he says, I need more consistency in practicing my Japanese daily, but I can't do so recently because of time constraints. And you know what, that's where, put Japanese in your life. Instead of practicing, just make sure, hey, you've got Japanese playing all the time somewhere. You post up Japanese posters or some type of, print out stuff of words that you've learned and, put sticky notes around your location. Put Japanese in your life so you're reminded about Japanese. Even if you yourself don't have time to sit down and study, at least what you've learned is around you. And it's still getting into your head, even if you're not personally studying at that time. That's just an idea. That's where the whole concept of AJAT comes from. All Japanese all the time. he goes about it in a little weird way, which I think, but that's really what a lot of people, that's what helped me out, just, I live in Japan, but I wasn't even studying at all, so I kind of at least kept my level kind of sort of where it was at. I mean, I knew it was degrading, getting worse and worse, but it degraded slower than if I had moved to a different country altogether and didn't even run into Japanese at all. Yeah, and then that 6 years would have been a lot worse, and my skills would have degraded much, much, much more. So anyway, in fact, right now I'm getting into some trouble with my wife because I'm trying to play Japanese all the time, which means, okay, I've got a little speaker here, and I'm playing audio off my smartphone into the speaker because it's Bluetooth connected, and it's at night, so I'm playing it, or either I'd wear headphones or something, or listen to that and whatnot. And she'd want to go and turn it off because she thought it's bothering me or that I'm not able to sleep. She's misinterpreting what I'm trying to do. And it's not that I'm not following the whole belief that I'm learning in my sleep. I don't believe that. I don't believe that one bit. But it's just a matter of I'm going to sleep thinking about Japanese because the Japanese is playing, and I'm waking up to Japanese because, again, the Japanese is playing. And if during the night I kind of wake up a little bit, again, it's because I'm hearing Japanese, so it's playing. So just those, even if those brief bits are all throughout the day, I'm hearing Japanese. That's all, and it's comprehensible audio. That's what I'm just trying to say. Same thing as maybe have a book there, a manga, and read it. If you understand and read, I need to start doing that a day. At least read an hour a day of something I already understand or know. Even if it's just a matter of taking these those transcripts from the TV shows and just printing those out and reading that for fun. Just have a transcript printed out and just boom, read it. And that's just say, hey, for a half hour I got time, I'm just gonna read it. That's all. Keep it something simple. You're not studying, all right? You're just reinforcing whatever you already learned or listening in Japanese all the time. Sorry. That's all. I will be back tomorrow. It's Monday now. It's what is it right now? It's 1:30. I'll be back tomorrow at 10 o'clock. So I'm going to try to do it where it's 10 a.m. each morning for me. Because some people were saying they liked it before I would schedule them. They would get a notification when I've scheduled it, and they were enjoying that. They would be able to catch the stream then. So I'll start doing that from now on. I think 10 o'clock is a good time for me. Again, it's enough time in the morning for me to wake up, have breakfast, stretch, exercise, what I need to do. Then afterwards, do 3 or so hours of studying Japanese, whatever I'm doing now, and then after that, move into what I need to get ready for college or whatnot, and blah 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 blah, etc. 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 That sounds like a good path to go, and probably get my wife more and more mad at me just because. And whatnot. It's a weird thing. I'm trying to turn this into this is technically be my full-time job for a bit because I am retired. I kind of got an income from a retirement pay and whatnot. Trying to use that now, and I want to develop this. I don't want to set up the whole Patreon thing yet because I don't, again, I want to make sure this is useful first, and maybe if I go into intermediate stages, I'll start doing the whole Patreon thing. I've already got the paid set. I just don't know how to set up a rewards or things. It's just a matter of, okay, you just whatnot. I think you're probably better off paying guys like the guys who run the Remembering the Kanji forums, Fabrice there, donating to Damien Elms because he's the one who did Anki. If you're going to do that, I mean, I think those are the guys that really deserve it. Or the guy who did who designed Subs to SRS or the Japanese text analysis tool. Those are the guys. If you find that you're using a program a lot, try to think about donating to the guy who made that program. All right, even though it says it's free, so you're doing this like you're paying it forward. Do that. All right, because none of these guys, everybody. I don't know. It's I remember as a kid, I read a lot of books, and as a kid for free from the library. And I think I remember when I grew up, I just bought the books, later on, just to kind of like pay back the author in some small way. Now it's a little different. You can actually donate directly to the author, which is kind of cool. But yeah, there is that. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. This is Nuke Marine. This has been the latest 3-hour stream of God knows how many hours I've been doing streams now. I'm scared to look. But yeah, that's all done. One last thing I want to do. Let's see. So we're nearing the end of the month. Okay, so in the last 30 days, so about 60 hours, so about 2 hours, roughly 2 hours a day of actual studying, not the stream part. We are, okay, here's 8, so we're at 34 hours for this. We got another 9 or so, 10 lessons or so. That's going to be about an hour, so it'll be about 44 hours, it looks like, on there, give or take. But that's going to be, that's not a big issue. So it looks like we're going to be fine. And like I said, I stopped caring about having this whole streak thing. I don't even care about streak days anymore. It's just a matter of, hey, you know what? If I got to skip a day, so be it. The only thing I care about is this right here, pushing forward, because I am going to get to the point where I'm at where I was, and going beyond that, I'm excited for that, and you know, share whatever I'm doing with them, someone else, and hopefully they maybe catch up, or you know, in the future they're just following along with my stream based on where I was at and whatnot. It's just kind of weird, and it's like group study but without the group. Deferred group study. There you go. All right, so thank you very much, and this is Nuke Marine. See you tomorrow.